Let's get nasty on a Thursday. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Jamie Rivers and Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter, and we've got our guy CD in the house, Kerry Davis.
Baby.
He's pulling double duty today.
I didn't get much rest today, but it's okay.
You're ready to go.
Anthony's paying you for this, right?
No. This is
Kerry knows I don't have money. Kerry's just doing this
because I love you.
He's a great guy, and he loves us. Kerry, here's the deal with Kerry and I. Kerry and I are brothers from another mother.
That's
if you can believe that.
Yeah, the resemblance is
really
right.
Exactly. Yep.
Just squint your eyes.
Like a lot.
Yeah,
basically, close your eyes and then it'll work. But this, Kerry, I don't know if you know this. This is the band of March brothers here.
Oh.
Every single one of us has March birthdays.
When's your birthday, Jamie?
March 16th.
I'm the 30th.
I'm the 27th.
And the 19th. And March is the 19th. So we got it surrounded.
I'm always pitching both ends of a doubleheader because I go my birthday and then St. Patty's Day.
Oh, that's a good day.
They usually bled right into each other.
Don't know one from the other, do you?
I don't.
That's okay.
I usually wake up about Marshy's birthday, the 19th.
Yeah.
Figuring it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, hey, this year we'll go again.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
So Kerry will be with us the entire show. Jamie is out at 4 o'clock because he's going to do some Blues hockey for Bally Sports Midwest. So we'll talk a little Blues today. We'll certainly cover a lot from the Cardinals. In fact, Greg Amsinger, who was on the opening drive with Kerry Davis, Randy Carricker, and Brooke Grimsley, he had some interesting things to say about the Cardinals' offseason approach. In typical Greg fashion, I think he leaned heavily toward the Cardinals figuring it out sooner rather than later.
Boy, he's silly.
Yeah, but we'll dive into that. We got some football today. We're actually going to be doing our NFL Week 10 picks. And Kerry, unfortunately, has got a shot coming. Two shots.
So I do have a bit of an issue, though, because Jamie and I have the same record. So I would like to see these rules and regulations that somehow came out of thin air. I wasn't here when this decision was made, although the decision was made. And I would like to know where the hell we got this decision from.
Well,
because I was under the assumption both of us were going to be getting shot today.
Well, listen, I didn't know who was going to get shot. And the next day when I came in, Anthony informed me that I finished ahead of you. The app has its own algorithm.
We had the same number of wins.
Yeah, but my wins were better.
Okay.
Somehow.
I don't know how. Don't ask me how.
All right.
It
happens that way.
It actually would be funny to look back and see if you guys had the exact same picks.
Please, let's take a look.
Kind of interested.
Jamie doesn't want to do all that.
Anthony, we don't have time for that. We got to stay on clock today.
No, we got 4 hours. We're good here. All right, so let's see.
Why don't you guys take a peek at 4:30?
I'm interested here.
Let's see.
So Jamie had 9. Kerry had 9.
Okay.
But Jamie had, 89 points based on our 101 ESPN Pick'em Challenge.
Which no one knows how these points are accumulated.
And Kerry had 83. So
yeah, we know that.
Why don't we do this? Jamie, I'll pull up your picks from that week, and Kerry, I'll pull up yours.
All right.
So Jamie from week 9, the picks.
Yeah, watch it. It's got cold hands.
The picks. Jamie, you had the Ravens, Browns, Packers. Kerry, you had the Steelers, Ravens, Browns. Okay, so nothing there. Let's see
here. Are we really
here.
figuring this out live on the air?
We
can figure it out, Anthony.
Saints, Colts, Eagles. Gosh. Hey, Jamie, shut your mouth.
This is like watching paint dry.
You guys had the exact same picks except for Kerry had the Steelers and you had the Titans.
The Steelers won.
Yep.
So how in the hell?
Oh, you had the Packers.
Yeah.
I did pick the Rams.
But I don't know. Why would that matter, though?
Bryce Ripken.
Well, because it was a way bigger win. It was a way bigger win for the Packers. Have you seen that Jordan Love?
I guess so. I don't know. So, yeah, somehow.
Do we have questions here?
Somehow Kerry's going to get shot. That's
what we came up with.
Yeah.
Kerry, I'll tell you what. Honestly, if it had been the other way around, I probably would have complained.
There we go. At least Jamie's being honest.
I can't even be the bigger man here.
We're trying to figure this the hell out.
That's right. At least Jamie's being honest. All right, so we have the Coyotes coming to town again. Last time these two teams played, not great for the Blues.
Talk about it.
No, we'll talk about it. How How much adjustments because in football, guys, I mean, football, if you play the same team, obviously they're gonna know a lot about you. When you guys play the Ravens and you play the Bengals and you play the Browns, there wasn't a lot that you could throw at them.
Right.
But I imagine that there were smaller tweaks within a game plan. Jamie, do we see smaller tweaks in the game plan against the tonight, considering you just faced them 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, I think you're going to see a big tweak.
Jordan Binnington in net?
No, Joel Hofer starting tonight in net. But you're going to see a big tweak. Because whatever you did the last game, don't do it tonight.
Okay, fair enough.
Don't do that.
That's literally kind of what Craig Berube said today down at the rink. Because the same question was asked, like, hey, when you play a team, what do you take from that first game that you can apply or that you discard? He's like, I don't really want to. He's like, that game was not good.
Yeah.
We didn't have a good effort. We weren't skating. We established no offensive zone time. Our penalty kill let up 3 goals. So you take that game and you don't look at it and break it down and say, oh, by the way, these are things we're going to change. You look at it from a compete standpoint and say that wasn't good enough.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If I'm the head coach, I'm putting that score up on the board and saying, are you guys that much worse than that team? Like, are you? If you are, then we have a lot more problems than I thought we had in this locker room. But if not, then we need to change that. And I think that's the mentality Craig Berube and the boys have today. Talking to them, they're like, look, we know last game sucked.
Right.
It was not good. We let Joel Hofer, we left him out on an island to try and handle all this crap on his own, and it didn't work out. And now I like the Chief is going back with Joel Hofer, giving him a little bit of a revenge game here against the Coyotes. And, we'll see what happens, but I would expect a better effort tonight.
My question has been, and I guess will continue to be until they show it on a consistent basis, the consistency or lack thereof. It feels like, and did we talk today? I can't remember the days, man. Were you on this one?
Yesterday.
Okay, yesterday. And so we were talking about, it was awesome.
Carrie, Jamie,
nice Carrie.
To meet you,
sir.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. Nice to meet you, too.
We were talking about Craig Berube, talking about the second period of the last game, kind of getting away from him, not skating hard. How do you get them to do that on a consistent basis? Like, you played, I played. Yeah. Other than maybe punching a guy in the face, what other options are there?
Yeah, this is why coaches drink. I'm just saying, because you get a bunch of guys that do one thing on one night, and then you have the same group of players do something completely different another night.
That's the most frustrating part, because it's there. So if it's there, it'd be one thing, like you said, if you never showed it, like, these guys stink. All right,
that's why I didn't score a lot of goals, Kerry, because then I thought they'd expect it. And I'm like, no. I'm not trying to put this pressure on me.
Let's set proper expectations.
Dump it in the corner and go hit somebody.
There you go. But when you do have those expectations, it's expected every single night. And I think they have more than enough talent. It's just, will you do this every night or not? Yeah,
I agree. And that's the biggest thing for the Blues is bringing that compete level every single night, because you're not good enough on paper. You're not talented enough to just show up and win. Mm-hmm. You're not the Avalanche where you can have an average game and still win. So you got to show up, and everybody's got to be playing hard. Everybody's got to be playing the system properly. And if you're not, then it's going to be a tough night, and Craig Berube's going to have to make some tough decisions as a coach in game about who's going and who's not, and he's going to have to shuffle the deck as far as the lines are concerned. And that's one thing that he's done already this year is he hasn't been afraid to, pull the plug on a line that isn't going well or sit a player that hasn't been giving everything that he can. I think he's established, what the criteria is going to be, and now it's up to the players to figure it out.
I was going to ask you this, because I'm obviously not as well-versed in hockey as you, but the fourth line looks to me like the line that looks the best to me out of all of them. They show up every night. Yep. They give effort. They give energy. How do we get everybody? What is it about that line in comparison to, just other guys not doing what they're doing?
Let me ask you something. Is the fourth line the best because your expectations are the lowest?
Yes.
They're not expected to score.
Okay.
So that
makes sense.
So.
You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
So I don't know if it would
You don't expect much from them.
I don't know what the comparable would be in football. Yeah. Maybe it's just a special teams guy as opposed to a positional player. I don't know. Because special teams are pretty important too. So I guess I don't know if there's a direct comparable. But your fourth line, especially on this team, is an identity line that gets the puck in deep. They get it on the forecheck. They cycle the puck. They lay the body out there. And if they score, that's a cherry on top. So just kind of going back to what I said earlier, like I chose not to score goals because it wasn't expected. Same thing, right? Like I go out there and if I run over 3 guys in a shift and get the puck in deep, like that's a great shift.
Hell of a job. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're getting the stick taps on the board. The coach is giving you a pat on the back. But if I'm Robert Thomas and I go out and do that, and I don't score, coach is like, hey, we got guys that can hit.
Yeah.
Right.
So put the puck in the net.
Gotcha.
But I do agree that their compete level on the fourth line is fantastic.
Yeah.
At least that's one thing you have figured out because, a couple of years ago, you didn't have an identity line.
Correct.
And you kept trying to find somebody to be that line for you, and you didn't have it. Now, if nothing else, at least you have 3, even 4 guys with Alexandrov. He's not playing, but he is a guy that you can count on that line to go out there and be dependable defensively, be physical, get the pucks in deep, and create some energy for your hockey club.
Makes sense.
It's kind of like a rotational defensive end. Guy that goes in there when he gets a sack, you're like, hot damn, this guy's awesome. Meanwhile, he's standing on the sidelines for most of the game, but it's still
He came in for TJ Watt for a couple of snaps. Yeah.
It's still an important player, though.
He's very important.
With TJ Watt getting a rest. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Let's talk about Greg Amsinger's comments earlier today to Kerry Davis on the opening drive, and, of course, Randy Carricker and Burke Grimsley. So Greg was asked about the Cardinals' prospects of rebuilding, and he said they're 2 things away from winning 95-plus games.
What?
How high was Greg when he made those comments? Or should we just buy into what he's saying? That's next on 101 ESPN.
Anthony, I love me some NFL football.
You got a game tonight.
We do. But FanDuel, America's #1 sports book, they've got you covered, especially if you're a new customer. Right now, new customers, you got to sign up first, but new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 money line bet. So, Anthony, that's $150 if your team wins. That's all they have to do is just win.
Yeah, so maybe you're a Bears fan.
Oh, sorry about that.
And this is coming from a Falcons fan, so I know your pain. Anyways, but maybe the Bears will, you think the Bears going to win tonight against the Panthers, right? Short week. Maybe you want to say, you know what, take the Cowboys who are minus 16.5 and just play them on the money line. They should be fine. Then you'll cash in on this bet.
There you go.
That's the one we keep giving out, Jamie. That's probably the smart play. So is heading to FanDuel and checking all the spreads, the player props, the same game parlays. They get totals. They get Super Bowl futures. They get all kinds of stuff at FanDuel. So take advantage of that offer that Jamie just read to you. Here's how.
You know the drill. Go to FanDuel.com/fast to kick off the NFL season with FanDuel, the official partner of the NFL. 21 and over, present in Illinois. First online real money wager. Only $5 pregame money line wager required. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
With Jamie Rivers and Kerry Davis, I'm Anthony Stalter. It's a Fast Line on 101 ESPN. Speaking of Kerry, who's going to be with us the entire show today, Jamie's got Blues hockey coming up at 4 o'clock. He's
Blues win, Anthony. That's the way we're wording it today.
Blues victory.
I like that.
Greg Amsinger was on the opening drive earlier today with Kerry Davis, Burke Grimsley, and Randy Carricker, and he said that the Cardinals need two things, or at least they're two things away from winning, I think he said 162 games next year. Here's Greg Amsinger of MLB Network.
Brian Cashman came out the other day at the GM meetings in Scottsdale and said, we're pretty bleeping good. And he's very, resilient. And he wanted to push back on the Joel Shermans, the John Heymans, the Mark Feinstein's, and all these reporters are like, man, doom and gloom, Yankees didn't make the playoffs. But he recognizes what he has, and he believes in what he has. John Mozeliak isn't going to be like that in terms of the words coming out of his mouth, but he has the same attitude. We're really good. We've got a great roster of talent. Do we need more starting pitching? He has not hidden that. That is not something he's trying to walk away from. He recognizes it. He's addressing it right now. At least he's attempting to. This team, if you give them two more starters that can legitimately stay healthy, maybe a third add depth in case, they should be expecting to win the NL Central, I'll put it that way. Even with the genius of Craig Counsell on the north side of Chicago, they should be expected to be better than the Cubs, expected to be better than the Milwaukee Brewers, expected to be even better than the Cincinnati Reds, who were disappointing to me at the trade deadline. When you're this close to the playoffs, you get all these young players, and you don't get anyone, you don't put yourself over the top. I'm really interested to see what the Reds do. The Cardinals are open where their weaknesses are. They're going to address it. They're going to make their team better. And I expect them to be not just in the playoffs. I expect them to win their division, win close to 100 games. 100% I'm confident the Cardinals can bounce back.
All right. So here's the team who won that won
so much
100 games last year. Baltimore won 101. The Braves won 104. The Dodgers won 100. Now, in fairness to Greg, none of those teams had stout pitching when you think of top end pitching. Philadelphia had the top end pitching. They won 90 games. Here's the difference, though. Philly won a playoff series. That's what I care about. I don't care if you win 104 games. If you're going to be the Braves and you don't have enough pitching in the end. The Braves are a perfect example of what you want to aspire to be in terms of building.
Yes.
But they're also the cautionary tale. They didn't have enough pitching. They won 104 games.
Some pitchers get injured.
They had guys that got hurt, and they got bounced because of the pitching. Philly had better pitching, period. So the Cardinals winning 95 or 100 games next year, I don't care. Do you have the pitching to make a deep run?
Yeah.
That is what I forget about the NL Central. Let's make a deep run for once.
I got to be honest. I was on the show this morning, and I don't remember hearing that.
I didn't. You blocked it out, didn't you?
I don't remember hearing it. I've said this all along. Even when Mo came out and said, "Oh, we're going to go get 3 starters," I said the worst thing that can happen, because that was mid-season after the trade deadline. The worst thing that can happen is Dakota Hudson, Zach Thompson, Matthew Libator, all of these guys, Tekoa Roby, they start performing really well. That's the worst thing that can happen for that comment. It's the worst thing that can happen, because what's going to happen? Well, we thought about getting 3 pitchers, but these guys are pretty damn good.
Have you seen these guys pitch in the Winter Bowl?
Forget about it. Yeah, we're going to stay here. We're going to stand pat. And so now you're in a position where you knew. They said they had 6 starters going into the season, and we didn't have 6. They said we needed 3 in midway through the season. We're not going to get 3. So what are we going to do? Because pitching was the main thing, both starting pitching and in the bullpen, that prevented this team from even competing nightly to try to win games. So for me, it's about finding those pitchers, going to getting those starting pitchers. I don't know if that's going to help them win 95 games, because unless they go get 3 guys that can really do it, and then find a couple of guys in the bullpen that can really help out as well.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. So let's just be honest here for a second, okay? Let's just be honest. There's no way you're winning 100 games without a number 1 pitcher.
Yes.
And we know right now that the Cardinals probably aren't going to go get that. Even Sonny Gray on a real team is like a number 2.
Yeah.
Okay, he'll be your number 1 if that's who you go get. But after that, it's going to be gorilla glued together with whatever pieces they can find.
Right.
Because you're not doing that. And the key thing that Greg Amsinger said in that whole thing, the only thing he was right about was to win the NL Central because that's all they care about.
Right.
And this team, all they want to do is get competitive again, enough to have people go through the gates and believe that this team can win a playoff series. And that just means money back in the bank that they're not going to spend.
One thing I will say, if you win the NL Central, you're in the playoffs. And so all we want to do, and when I say we, get in the tournament, right? You get in, anything can happen.
But you know yourself, like limping in and dominating is two different things.
It is. I mean, but we just watched the Arizona Diamondbacks make it to the World Series, and I don't think anybody.
Yeah, but all year they were good too.
Yeah, well, not as good as the Braves or the Dodgers and some of those other the Phillies. They weren't that good, and they kind of marched their way through and were able to make it. So I think maybe that's the philosophy.
Did they have a number one pitcher though?
Yeah, they had a couple guys.
That's what I'm saying.
They had a couple guys. They had some guys that showed up in clutch moments. That kind of stuff matters.
Yeah.
And the other thing I wanted to address is his comment about the Cubs. If you think the Cubs went and got Craig Counsell and are going to do nothing else,
right,
you're sadly mistaken.
Yeah, that was the side
They're going to be signing. Watch this. They're going to make a serious run at Ohtani. They're going to go out. Aaron Nola, whoever the
Yamamoto. I could see him going there.
I'm telling you right now, the Cubs are not screwing around this year.
Well,
you don't pay a manager $40 million freaking dollars to give him dog crap for a team.
And Juan Soto, they could trade for Juan Soto.
Yeah, because he's probably going to be on the block. Here's the other thing too: is you bring up the Cubs. I was thinking about this. You know, I like the Cardinals' offense. I think we all do. But here's the reality of the situation: they're not off the hook for last year either. They scored 719 runs in the NL Central. That places them fourth behind the Brewers, who scored. Actually, I'm sorry, the Cubs, who scored 119. The Brewers, who scored 700. The Reds, who scored 783. Brewers, who scored 728. The Pirates are only team that scored fewer runs than you did in the NL Central last year.
Yeah.
So I think we need to start moving away from, if they just get two pitchers, who are the pitchers? And two, is the offense really going, is it going to slug next year?
And the defense, too. The defense was awful.
Defense was horse piss.
Yeah. It was terrible.
It was terrible.
You meant like the runners in scoring position.
You say like that's something bad.
It's not great.
I mean, isn't all urine
where it's at, though, I guess.
I mean, it smells pretty bad.
When's the last time you smelled horse piss?
I've never smelled horse piss, but I've smelled my own, and it does not smell good. I can't imagine a horse is smelling good.
Are you well hydrated?
That's after asparagus. Exactly.
After asparagus, it's not
terrible.
great.
You're absolutely correct. I am well hydrated. There are certain days, certain mornings after a certain type of night where I'm not.
No.
And that's the morning you chose to smell your own pee.
I'm just saying, you can just smell it. You can see it. It's like a fart. You can just smell it.
It eventually makes its way.
I'm not saying my fart tastes bad. Why are you trying to eat it?
My senses are really high.
Yeah. Jeez, March, I got you.
Thanks,
the defense stunk. The defense stunk. So, you're never one thing away from anything.
Can I help you as to why the defense may not have been playing as well as it could have?
Because you were playing guys out of position constantly?
How about that? You got infielders in the outfield. You got guys that aren't supposed to. What the hell is this? What the hell is going on?
They didn't have positions. They were just baseball players.
Okay. I didn't realize that.
You played baseball.
So the SS
you're in center
next
field.
to their name didn't matter. It's just, hey, you look like a right fielder. You go out there today.
Tommy, you're going in center field this inning.
You've heard of the positionless basketball?
I have.
Kyle Shanahan, positionless football, right? This is the Cardinals version.
Okay.
Well, it worked out well.
It's worked out for the Warriors. It's worked out for the Niners. I don't think it's going to work out for the Cardinals. Positionless baseball there.
Not great.
Nope. It's a Fast Lane on 101 at ESPN. Kerry Davis, Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter, Andrew Marsh here as well. Why don't we talk a little bit about the? Why don't we get into some NFL next? How about we do that? Let's do NFL fill in the blank. This is always fun. So this is Kerry's first opportunity to play NFL fill in the blank. Marsh is going to give us a statement. We have to fill in the sentence. That's next at 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Blues are back in action tonight, taking on the Arizona Coyotes. Pregame starts at 6 o'clock. Puck drop is at 7. You can catch all the action right here on 101 ESPN. We'll talk with Voice of the Blues right here on their Blues Radio Network, Chris Kerber at 4:15. So stay tuned for that. Once again, Blues Coyotes, 6 o'clock pregame, 7 o'clock puck drop. Also tonight, a riveting matchup to kick off Week 10 of the NFL season, Thursday Night Football. It's the Carolina Panthers taking on the Chicago Bears. We'll talk more NFL coming up next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff. Find new roads and shop 24/7 at londoff.com and londoffautoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
Let's play NFL fill in the blank in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Jamie Rivers, Kerry Davis, and Anthony Stalter. What do you got, Marsh?
All right, let's start off with this. This next stretch of games is a make or break for blank.
Niners.
Oh,
49ers.
Really?
They got Jacksonville, Tampa, Seattle, Philly, Seattle.
That was going to be my answer. Was the Niners.
I think they're fine. They got to get healthy.
They lost 3 in a row. So, before the bye.
Yeah.
That is a bit troubling. I would say the Niners. I mean, it's always the Cowboys as well, though, right? Like, they are another team.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about the Bills just because they're trending in the wrong direction. But they've got the Broncos, then the Jets, then they play the Eagles and the Chiefs. So
that's a good
it's going
one.
to be 2 must-wins. Like, if they fumble at all against the Broncos or the Jets, then they're looking uphill at the Eagles, Chiefs, Cowboys. That's the next 3 weeks after that.
I like both of those answers. I mean, well, let's take the easy one. What about the New England Patriots? What about Bill Belichick and potentially no longer being a head coach of the New England Patriots?
Kerry, you don't believe that.
No, I do believe that.
No, you don't.
I honestly do.
Who the hell are you going to replace him with?
Didn't matter.
Josh McDaniels. Come on back.
Hang on.
Full circle.
Hang on.
Hey, don't talk about the Patriots like
Don't
that.
talk about my Patriots that way. Don't talk about Bill Belichick that way. But in all seriousness now, okay, I would entertain removing him as GM or getting him some help as a GM because his team is terrible.
No question.
I don't mean poorly coached. I mean, it's a bad team.
It's a bad roster.
It's a bad roster.
I tell people this when we played. You would, have meetings, and you would have the numbers of the guys that hey, we got to know where this guy is. We don't block him, we're gonna have a problem. We don't know where this guy is, where he's blitzing from, we're gonna have a problem. Offensively, if we don't lock this guy down, it's gonna be a long day for us. Hey, when you look at the New England Patriots roster, you say, hey, just play our game. Just play our game. We should be fine.
I totally agree. To me, it doesn't come to it as a coaching thing because I still think that Bill Belichick is a really good football coach. And here's my thing is, who is better out there than Bill Belichick that's available?
Well, here's my question for you, because I was listening to Mike Greeny the other day, and he talked about the Patriot way. And he said, is the Patriot way really the Patriot way, or is it the Tom Brady way? Because when you look at the Patriot way and you talk about former coaches that have gone on to not have great success from under Bill Belichick, Romeo Crennel, Charlie Weiss, Josh McDaniels, Joe Judge. There are a lot of coaches that were under that tree that haven't had success, and Bill Belichick hasn't had a lot of success since Tom Brady, since number 12, walked away.
No, I agree. But I look at it the flip side is those guys had ultimate success with Bill Belichick as their head coach, and they've had no success without him.
Was there.
Yeah, but Tom Brady
had success. He left.
When this team started to
Super Bowl, when he left.
When they started to get going, okay? Mind you, they had Bledsoe as their quarterback at the time, but that team was still headed in the right direction.
They were.
Under Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
And then
they started filming practices.
Take Brady. Look it.
You ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
You know what? They were just trying to film the scenery in the background and practice players got in
Just
the middle of
happen
it.
to be in. Okay, that makes
It's a
sense.
common mistake. We've all been there.
Well, here's the thing, though, about the Patriot way. The Patriot way is...
Oh, don't you
is-
start to.
The Patriot way is... I'm actually going to...
Go ahead.
What do you assume?
Jamie, have a little faith.
All right.
The Patriot way is all about doing things a certain way. Everybody's accountable. Everybody's held accountable.
Yes.
So I think it's a little of both. When you think of Tom Brady being in that locker room, if Tom Brady is being held accountable, if Bill's yelling at Tom Brady, everybody stands up straight and they're like, well, if they're going to yell at him, we all need to be held accountable.
Who the hell is holding Bill accountable right now for this?
Well, Robert Kraft is, for sure. He doesn't screw around, that guy. Like, he's pretty serious about the Patriots. He's involved. You know this yourself. He's down there. He's in the locker room. Like, he's got the pulse, at least. He's not one of those guys that just, like, sets the rosters and just goes and parties in the suite all day.
Yeah.
He still parties in the suite. I mean, we know,
He'd make sure he
we know
did everything.
Crafty likes to get weird. But I'll tell you what.
Not New England. Yeah.
But you're right, Anthony. That's why Tom Brady,
Yeah.
that's kind of why he wanted to leave a little bit, is because the Patriot way was holding him, like, not hostage, because he obviously had so much success there.
Right.
But I still feel like Bill Belichick could be a good coach. Like, if you gave him an actual roster, which is his fault, by
Jamie,
the way.
they are terrible, man.
But it's his fault. Building that team is his fault. Give him a good GM, and the GM says, hey, Bill, go coach.
So when did he become terrible as the GM? Because he was
About
damn
2
good
years
when,
ago.
when Tom Brady walked out the damn door.
I mean, Kerry, you're not wrong. The Patriots have never had...
Stop making sense.
The Patriots
I
have
like
never
you.
had a top roster. They haven't. If you look back at all their Super Bowls, the only time they had one of the top rosters was 2007.
And they didn't win.
No,
They
I
went
mean-
they got
17.
robbed.
They went 18-0, 19-0. What are they? 18-0.
The 16 regular season
Two
games,
playoff
divisional
games,
AFC, yeah.
And then finished 18-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't win the Super Bowl. That was the best team that they've ever had.
Yes.
Randy Moss was really freaking good that year.
Yep.
He was, but I agree with you. When you look over their history of when they're winning championships, you probably couldn't David Patton off the top of your head, receivers, Troy Brown. Like,
who played corner,
he played
too.
corner. Like, they weren't guys that, but you know who was a guy? Number
Brady.
12.
Yep.
So, I don't know.
I mean, you're not wrong. Okay?
I'm with Jamie.
just
I like,
not ready-
who else
I'm
gonna
not
be-
ready to quit Bill yet, okay?
All right.
When you
got
look
video
at-
of him walking outside shirtless, I don't know what the hell's going on there.
Bill could use maybe a brassiere.
Okay.
I saw those bad boys, and I was like, I feel weird yet not uncomfortable right now.
Oh, you know what? We'll end there with that conversation. Go ahead, Marsh.
Fill in the blank. The next head coach fired will be blank.
Oh, it's got to be what's his name?
That's
Your guy.
probably Bill.
Arthur Smith?
Oh, man.
He's so
Come
bad.
Artie's not going anywhere just yet.
What about what's his name?
I can see Ron Rivera.
The Chargers.
That's one.
Brandon Staley's a good one, but they've kind of turned things around a little bit.
I thought that Dennis Allen with the New Orleans Saints was
They're going to
knocking
win
on the door.
They're going to win the division.
Which is absolutely insane.
They're gonna
What
win the
hell are
division.
Falcons doing?
They don't know.
Okay.
Listen, hey, Kerry, winning teams draft the running back 7th overall and then not use them.
Okay.
That's the formula.
Okay.
I don't know what your problem is today, but when you draft 3 guys in the top 10, the key is to not use them.
The key is to do everything else.
That's the winning
other
formula.
than giving them the football.
When you have a good backup tight ends, you use him all the time, all formations. Get him the ball in different ways, okay? Don't talk to me about top 10 picks.
Okay. All right.
They're garbage.
Do you think Frank Reich could be on the outs?
Yeah.
Well, him and the owner apparently don't see eye to eye right now. The owner wants to coach, but he's just using Frank Reich as the ventriloquist dummy.
You know what I was thinking of too? They had, remember when Josh McCown was kind of caught is the wrong word, but he was
In
talking to
circles.
CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, when you get to Carolina, we'll go, I don't know, we'll play basketball or whatever he said to him. And somebody picked up the conversation. Yeah. I wonder if Frank Reich and his coaching staff wanted CJ Stroud.
Wow.
And the owner said, we're going to take
Frank
Bryce Young.
Reich almost came out and said
He
that.
pretty much did.
Yeah.
He said, this is, we have some hard conversations. They're not fun conversations. Don't, by any stretch of the imagination.
Especially if you disagree.
Yeah. And listen, if I wanted CJ Stroud and I got Bryce Young and I see what CJ Stroud is doing, I'm probably not the best person for certain positions because I'm going. Hey, you see that? That could have been us.
You see what you did on Sunday? Wearing a CJ Stroud, Houston Texans jersey.
Just walk around the facility. Yeah.
But Frank Reich did say I saw that press conference you're talking about, but in another interview, he talked about how, they had thought about certain players, but other people in the organization, some of them wanted to go in a different direction, different way. So basically saying, I probably wanted a different quarterback. Mm-hmm. He didn't say CJ Stroud, but he said basically, I was told this is what we're getting.
Right. I highly doubt it's anybody but Stroud.
And
Will Levis, Dan Marino.
Clearly.
Could be Will Levis.
Clearly. Yeah. Probably not.
Probably not, though. Marsh, you got one more?
Yeah, let's do one more. Blank looks like the worst matchup this week, but could be the best game.
Oh, wow. The worst matchup.
The worst matchup is that Dallas game.
Probably tonight's game.
I do not think it's going to be the best game.
That won't be entertaining, though, unless you're a Cowboys fan, which, Marsh, you love the Cowboys.
No, I don't.
The worst matchup, but probably the best game. That's intriguing.
How about Colts Patriots?
No, that's not.
That could be like a high scoring game because neither team plays much.
What about the Broncos and the Bills?
What? Why?
Yeah, I could see that.
The Bills. Do you know which Bills team is going to show up?
No, I don't. But I don't want to watch the Broncos.
Texas and Josh Allen throwing the ball to the other team. That's how it goes. He's going to give it up.
Yeah,
at some point. And the Bills could lose.
Yeah, but do you find watching the Broncos entertaining?
Hell no.
That's what I'm saying, though.
They said which game is not entertaining, but could be.
They said what game is a blowout, but the game will be entertaining.
Did I hear that wrong?
No, I didn't say blowout.
Worst matchup.
Yeah.
But still entertaining.
That's a terrible matchup.
You think it's entertaining? I'm going to make you watch that game.
It's going to be on Monday night. I'm going to watch it. It's nothing else.
What about Atlanta and Arizona with Kyler Murray coming back?
No Falcon
First
game.
First of all, Kyler Murray, what are we expecting right there? Like, I don't see this guy.
350 and 3 touchdowns.
You think so?
Yeah.
They win? They beat the Falcons?
Like a drum.
He throws 2 picks, and he's out halfway through the game.
We might need to have an intervention for Anthony over here. He's kind of going through.
He's right. Every day.
He's right.
I had to hide the scissors one day.
I found him.
Going through it. He has lost it. You weren't
Hold on.
Okay.
Jamie's right. Kyler throws 2 picks. Okay. Atlanta gets up 20-3. They put in Clayton Tune. I think I'm better than Clayton Tune. And he beats them.
That
he beats
does
the
sound
Falcons.
very Falcon-ish.
They're going to let Cordell Patterson run the ball?
Jamie, up top.
Yep.
It sounds like you just...
You took me a second, but yes.
You kind of just described what happened to your team last week.
And the week before, Marsh.
And the year before.
And the year before. And
It's kind of a theme here.
Different players, different coaches, different GMs, same results.
Same Anthony.
Disappointed, as always. Yep. All right, it's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. We're going to throw a bunch of Blues topics at Jamie, including how much longer will Torrey Krug quarterback the power play?
What?
That's next on 101 ESPN.
Got a brand new vehicle or an older vehicle and you want to spice things up, head over to Pure Performance. They are your one-stop shop for all aftermarket modifications. My guy Kerry, boy, he's got a nice car out there. He's going to roll over to Pure Performance. We're going to accessorize that boy. We're going to get a Steelers thing put on the front of his hood. I mean, who wouldn't love that? Pure Performance, they're right there for you. And they're located close, too, right off Highway 70 in St. Peters. You walk in, ask for Shelby. She's the sheriff over there. Tell her Jamie Rivers sent you in, and then tell her what you're looking to do. And again, no matter what vehicle you drive, whether it's a car, an SUV, a minivan, a pickup truck, Jeeps, any year, make, or model of the Jeep, and the new Broncos. I told you just the other day, I saw a black Bronco at Pure Performance that was completely accessorized, and I fell in love. It was amazing what Pure Performance was able to do. And while you're there, there if you need anything else serviced on your vehicle. They have a full-service garage. So oil changes, tune-ups, anything at all, Pure Performance technicians are going to take great care of you. So please stop by in person, say hi, or stop by online at pureperformance.com. That's pure, P-U-R, performance.com.
Blues and Coyotes pregame starting after the fast lane, 6 o'clock. Then you got the Blues and Coyotes pregame for you. Jamie's got some Bally Sports Midwest coverage tonight, so he's going to be here until 4 o'clock. Carrie Davison as well. I'm Anthony Stalter. How much longer, Carrie, Jamie, do we see Torrey Krug quarterback the power play if the power play continues to struggle?
Well, it's going to be a while because this is the reason you brought in Torrey Krug. And honestly, I know things aren't going according to plan this year, and the power play wasn't great last year, but I'm not going to hang that all on Torrey Krug last year because you have 5 guys on the ice. And I'm not going to hang it all on Torrey Krug this year because you have 5 guys on the ice. I know he's labeled the quarterback on the power play, but the quarterback can be in several different spots. Like lots of teams have the guy on the half wall as the quarterback, and he kind of moves the puck up and down and then can go up top. And so you have more than one quarterback out there on the power play. He's got to pick up the point production, but so does the entire unit, right? So the whole power play goes hand in hand with each and every guy who's on there right now.
When I'm watching them, and again, I'm learning the nuances of hockey, but why does it feel like they're chasing instead of setting up and actually passing the puck around and able to get good shots? It feels like when I watch other teams' power plays, it looks like they have something set up really well, and they get good shots. They get closer to the net. They are able to tip pucks in, but it feels like the Blues are just kind of scrambling the entire 2 minutes and never really get to set up in the offensive zone.
So you said one word that's the key in all this: setup.
Yes.
The Blues don't get set up.
Why?
Because a couple of things. One, teams know that the first power play unit is very reluctant to dump the puck in and go get it. They'd rather carry it in with a clean zone entry. Well, you're not going to get that. When teams know that's what you want, they're going to take it away. It's like you always say, Bill Belichick tries to make the quarterbacks throw left-handed, tries to change something up on them. So other teams are going to pressure big time. At the blue line, they're going to force you to dump it in because they know you don't want to. And then when you consistently don't dump it in, you turn the puck over.
Yeah.
That's what levels the playing field, is when you can condense the ice into a 7 or 8 foot space between 4 feet outside the blue line, 4 feet inside the blue line as the penalty kill. You're winning.
Okay,
you're winning because there's no room to breathe, so you get a better chance of disrupting a play rather than making a play.
Right.
So the reluctance to chip the puck in and go get it has been a bit of a problem for them, and then puck retrievals off of shots on net. Early on. Now, I will say this. They haven't had the results recently, but the power play has been better. They've had more shots on net. They've had more puck retrievals, which means they're getting the puck off of the shot, the rebound, into loose pucks. They're winning those battles back, and they're getting another opportunity. But unfortunately, right now, the entire body of work is one goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, for me, they've got to simplify things, get pucks to the net, and continue to battle. They should have had at least one goal last game. Pavel Buchnevich got absolutely robbed.
Mm-hmm. He did. The defender hit it with his stick.
Yeah,
it just slid across. It was a hell of a play by him.
It's a great play, but it still ended up no goal, right?
Yep.
So as we move forward here, so that's the power. That's the look at the power play. What about Joel Hofer? What areas does he need to clean up thus far?
I don't know if he needs to clean anything up. He's had one game where you're like a bit of a head scratcher, but your whole team was dog crap that game.
Yeah, but he's still a young player, so
but
there's areas of improvement.
There is, but there isn't, right? Because he's a very talented player, a very good goaltender, technically sound. He's a huge man. 6'4", 6'5" in the net. He gets out to the top of the paint. He makes the save. He doesn't give up terrible rebounds. He plays the puck probably better than Jordan Binnington, which is saying a lot. Mm-hmm. So I don't think there's anything to clean up. I think he just needs to continue to play confident. As a young goaltender, a young player in any professional league, I think that's the thing that wavers the most, is the confidence, because one day you're a god, the next day you're a peasant.
Yes.
And so especially at the goaltender position, be like a young quarterback, a young pitcher, like when all that focus is on you, you have to make sure that you stay even keel. Remember 2019, Jordan Binnington barely had a pulse, right? Like, do I look nervous? Like, no, he wasn't. Yeah. He had a swagger to him, and he knew that even if he let in a squeaker, it's not going to change his game. Mm-hmm. And I feel like Jordan Binnington has finally gotten back there this year. I see a lot of that in Joel Hofer.
You know what my favorite Jordan Binnington moment in game was? It was the Pat Maroon game.
You're blanked?
No. For Jordan Binnington.
Oh, yeah.
We call it the Pat Maroon game, and it is. But Jordan Binnington was obviously incredible in Game 7.
You were a quarter of an inch away from being eliminated.
Yeah, but the best moment in that entire game was when they showed the roof shot of Jordan Binnington. So when the camera's looking down.
When we scored.
When Pat Maroon scored, and Binnington skated off the ice as if it were an October game against Arizona, as opposed to Game 7, in which you won to propel yourself into the Western Conference Finals. That is what you're talking about with Binnington, staying even keel. That was the moment I tweeted this out, and this is a full endearment here. That was the moment I said, that is a true psychopath.
That's a
And I
serial
love
killer.
it.
He sees
That's-
things. He's different.
That's incredible.
Yeah, nothing phases him. He just
We scored. Good.
Gotta
I'm
go.
out of here.
That's what you want, right, guys? Like,
of
think
course.
about it.
Yeah.
So, Kerry, you got a young quarterback, and he throws a touchdown pass in between two defenders over the shoulder. Beautiful, just a corner of the end zone.
Right.
And he just walks out. Lakers walks right off.
He's a psycho.
What's next?
He expects that.
Give him a headset. What's our next plan?
Those are the guys you love to see. I want to. The confidence part, I think, gets overlooked so much as an athlete, because when you have confidence, you can feel like you can do literally anything. Like nothing is in your way. Jamie, I used to tell myself, and I was honest. I honestly believed this, that I was the best player on the football field. And I'm on there with Hall of Famers, and you could not tell me that I was not the best player, because mentally I believed it. It was a psycho type of, like, Troy, who?
Yeah.
Hell with that guy.
I used to think to myself, not that I was the best player on the ice, but I used to think to myself, I'm going to have the biggest impact on the game.
Yes. And when you feel that way, you can talk yourself
some nights
into
it was
this.
in my net. That was the biggest impact. Pass at the middle of the ice.
My fault.
Either way, I
I
achieved
had
my
an
goal.
impact. Yeah, there you go.
Jamie, you ruined an entire organization.
I did.
So
I heard
yeah,
about that. Do you care? Tell me about that. Do you have time for that?
The one tonight.
Yeah, the
Oh,
Arizona
the
Coyotes.
Coyotes.
And funny enough, Todd Walsh, who does the play-by-play for the Coyotes since their inception, he brings it up every time I see him. He calls me the Coyote Killer. And so I saw him this morning at the rink. He goes, "Oh, my favorite Coyote Killer." And he did a TV segment. I'm going to find it and bring it in one day and play it for you guys.
Okay.
Because we were in the playoffs against the Phoenix Coyotes, and we were down 3-1 in the series. We came roaring back, made it 3-3, and in Game 7, I made a bonehead pass. Like, behind my back, no looker, I thought I was Michael Jordan. Right onto Keith Kachuk's tape, except he played for the Coyotes at this time.
Oh, no.
So he goes on a breakaway. I'm panicking, so I'm fast. I'm on him. Like, I get to him, but at this point, I'm like, I can't take a penalty. Can't get a penalty shot here. So I'm kind of disrupting, but kind of not. Grant Fuhr, he shoots the puck, and it kind of hits Furzy weird. And I'm like, usually, like, I'm going so fast, usually I would skate by the net, right? Because I don't want to crash into the net.
Right.
This one time, I look because it hit him kind of weird, and I was like, and I see the puck drop behind and start rolling towards the net. I hit the brakes. I jump back over the side of the post and knock the puck right at the goal line. Knock the puck off the glass, whatever. We live to survive. We end up winning Game 7. But because of that play, Kachuk left, Roenick left, the head coach got fired, the team went into bankruptcy, the ownership left, the NHL took over the team.
Well done.
Yeah,
that's a good damn job.
had they scored that goal, they'd have won the game, and none of those things would have happened.
And then
That
you
is
played
awesome.
for him.
And then I end up going back and playing for him. That's when I really put the nail in the coffin.
Hey, you know what? I'm not done.
back.
My work isn't done yet.
I actually played some of the best hockey of my career there. I felt like I owed it to them.
That's Jamie Rivers, Kerry Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. It's the Fast Line on 101 at ESPN. So Mo made some comments about ticket sales, free agency, how that impacts the Cardinals offseason approach, and whether or not they can be an upper tier market. That's next on 101 ESPN. 6:02, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler, with Jamie Rivers, Super Bowl champion Kerry Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. It's the Fast Lane. Kerry's with us all show. Jamie's with us for the next hour before he heads downtown for Blues and Coyotes. Pregame starting right here on the home of the Blues, 101 ESPN, starting at 6 o'clock. John Mozeliak made some interesting comments to Derek Gould, or at least assembled the media, and Derek Gould had the quotes in his recent article for STLtoday.com. Mo says, I don't think there are a lot of question marks for next year on RSNs. Fair, said Mozeliak, the team's president of baseball operations. Our other revenue source is our attendance. So that is something from an organizational standpoint we want to be focused on. And we want to make sure that we can maintain that. We understand it's product driven. So we want to improve the team to help that happen. That is the plan. I mean, it's good that he at least recognizes that. What he's saying is if we put a bad product in the field, people aren't going to show up.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if the Cardinals got that until last year.
I don't know if they did either. And
they didn't have a bad product, but they've had mediocre products before, slightly above average products. Last year was crap.
Last year was bad.
It was bad.
It was flat out bad.
Yeah, it was nothing good about that. You're 20 games under 500. You are dead last in the division. You didn't have a chance. By the time the trade deadline rolled around, you knew that they were going to be sellers and they were going to be looking in a different direction. Mm-hmm. And there was really no hope. And so I'm glad that they understand that the product and the attendance are tied hand in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, show me.
Right.
I don't care about what people say. I like to see action. Show me with your actions this offseason by going out and getting pitchers, getting players that make this roster better, and then I will believe that you understood the actions of the product and the fans are hand in hand.
Well, it's a show me state.
Yes, exactly. They've been here my whole life.
I don't know if you've ever heard that before.
It's a time or two.
Yeah.
People haven't used that. This upcoming season kind of reminds me, Jamie, you're a business owner. Kerry, I know that you've dabbled in other things outside of football and radio. There comes a point where you say, okay, what we're doing, people aren't buying. Mm-hmm. So we may have to invest more in order to get people coming back through the doors.
You know what I'm going to say, right?
Why'd you laugh?
What? You'll see. Finish your thought, and then I'll tell you.
At some point, you're allowed to make a profit when you're an owner.
You should.
But if you're continuing to put the same product on the shelves and people stop coming in for it, well, that's a you problem now.
Yes, it is.
If people are still coming through the doors, like Cardinals fans have been up until last year, that's a them problem. They're buying it, keep putting it on the shelves. But at this point, people stopped coming through the doors last year.
Yeah.
So you better spend a little bit here to improve your product. So that people come back through those doors. Now, what you're looking at?
Waiting.
You're waiting for. What are you looking at?
I am intrigued.
Anthony, let's just talk business for a second.
Sure.
Okay. As a business owner, and dabble in several different businesses.
Yeah. Including Clear Camp coming in 2025.
No Clear Camp, that will never happen. But
I'll talk to you, Kerry.
Let me know.
Your investment.
All right.
As a business, you want to have really good margins. That's always the key. Drive down what it costs you to produce whatever it is you're making or selling, and sell it at a premium price to create the margin, because that's your profit.
Correct.
So for the Cardinals, instead of saying like, hey, we need to throw some money at this, no. How little money can we throw at this to continue to be profitable?
Yeah.
This is the problem that I have with the Cardinals. Is they are an excellent business.
Yes.
As a fan, you can be pissed off. You can be mad at Mo. You look at that business, it is run like a well-oiled machine. They turn out profits galore, which pisses you off as a Cardinals fan. But if I'm the Cardinals, I go, okay, how do I get competitive in the Central Division again? I think it's Sonny Gray and Michael Wacha. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? We're going to be competitive, and then people will be intrigued by our team, and they'll show up, and they'll come to the games, and they'll give us that $3 million through the gate again. And we spent the least amount of money we had to.
Yep.
We didn't have to go get Nola or Yamamoto.
Yeah. Listen, you're absolutely right. It's a perfect comment. But at some point, that strategy blows up in your face, and it blew up in their face last year.
Once.
Okay.
Go back 20 years plus How many times has it blown up in their face?
Fair.
Go back and
but you better
years.
You better be damn sure. You better be damn sure on Jordan Walker. You better be damn sure on Mason Wynn. You better be damn sure on all these other guys, too. Because, Jamie, you're right. I think that's how the Cardinals are going to approach it. Mm-hmm. But just because it only happened once in 20 years doesn't mean history won't repeat itself again.
Which would be one of the worst things that could happen. If they end up 20 games under 500 again this year, I said there might be anarchy. The odds aren't good.
If you're Vegas right now, you're looking at the Cardinals' history as a baseball club.
I agree. And I agree with you as well. I think they are, and that's what I said all season long. I was saying the worst thing that could happen is those younger guys perform well, because that is the route that they will go. It isn't – fans can be upset about it. Right, you can be frustrated. Oh, why don't we spin like the Yankees? Why won't we spin like the Padres? They won't. It's not who they are. That's not how they handle their business. So you're going to have to accept how they decide to spend their money. And you hope that the players that they do bring in are successful, or the guys that they're bringing up or bringing along are successful. And if they're not, it is what it is, because they are not an organization that's going to go spend $250 million. You'll be lucky if we get to 190. And last year the budget's going to go up. It went up like $15 million. Yeah, that's cool. That's wonderful. It went up. They didn't lie, but they didn't fulfill the thought that you had in your mind when you heard the numbers were going to go up. And so for me, it's just what you said, Jamie. They are a business, and they are going to run it as such. And they can get away with getting the least amount of spending the least amount of money and having a great product or a good enough product. There'll be butts in seats, and they'll be okay.
Let me ask you a question, Anthony.
Sure.
If you would have put Sonny Gray and Michael Wacha in that rotation this year, and Matz is healthy, Michaelis is, whatever, is normal Michaelis, is not no blow, and you put Zach Thompson or a rotation into a platoon of whatever your fifth starter is, do you think the Cardinals are competing for the division?
Probably.
Yeah.
That's my point.
Yeah.
That's my problem, and that's my point.
Okay, so
all in one swoop.
Yeah. And if anybody's getting mad at Jamie is smacking everybody with reality here.
He's not telling lies. He's telling the truth.
Well, hey, me.
Here's where I think though the baseball gods start to strike back.
Oh, Anthony.
Because the Cardinals, I don't even care. Truth be told, I don't even care about the spending. I have said that on these airwaves when people start to bitch and moan about the lack of spending. It's not about spending. If you're the Phillies, it's about spending because you have to. Your farm system is toilet water. The Cardinals, I feel, have been getting away because they play in a bad division. They've been getting away with not doing the other things well too. You haven't been good you haven't been aggressive in free agency.
You haven't been good. Okay. You said it.
He had it right the first time.
You said it right the first time.
Don't walk it back, Anthony.
They haven't been good.
Come on, you're better than that.
You can go ahead and say it.
Puff up that chest.
There you go.
Let's see that Italian chest here. Look at it just poking at the top, huh?
They haven't been good.
Sexy son of a gun.
The Rays don't spend either, but the Rays are smart. The Rays have a smarter scouting staff than you. The Rays they're better at picking people's pockets than you. So if you're not going to spend, you're not going to be aggressive in free agency. No problem. Are you aggressive in the international market? No. Do you have a large scouting department? No.
Do you have a pitching lab?
Do you have a pitching lab? No. At some point, the baseball gods say, you know what?
You get what you get.
You get what you get.
It's time.
So to hell with spending. I'm fine with it. You're not going to get Yamamoto. You're not going to get Nola. Okay. Be smarter in another area, though, so this product improves.
So can we also throw development in there as well? Because
absolutely.
The development or lack thereof is part of it as well. When you are trading away guys that you haven't even allowed to perform or see what they have, and then those guys go on to become Cy Young Award winners, or those guys go on to become ALCS MVPs, and potentially, had he not gotten hurt, World Series MVPs.
I don't understand what you're talking about right now, Kerry. You don't have any examples.
I'll give you an update later. Don't worry about it.
Right.
When you miss out on guys like that, that's problematic. And so that tells me you obviously scouted well enough to know that they could be, but you didn't development and you didn't cultivate that environment for those guys to flourish in, and then they go elsewhere and they flourish. And so the development part as well is an essential part to what they need to do also. I do want them to spend money. The hell with that. I go spend $40 million, $50 million on Nola and Yamamoto or Nola and Snell. Give me 2 guys. Or trade for Dylan Cease. You're going to have to give something up, but you got to get rid of something to get something. And so go get something like that. If it's a free agent and a trade, I'm fine. And if it's 2 guys and both of them are 1A type of players, I won't even complain about the 3 starters anymore. I'll be like, hey, I'm good. But you have to show something. Let me rephrase that. You should be willing to show something for the people that show up to your games every night.
I agree. But if I'm the Cardinals, and listen, it's not my opinion here. Like, this is not what I want. I want to take a sledgehammer and smash the housefly. Like, there's no doubt about it. Like, I want Yamamoto, I want Ohtani, I want Nola. Like, that would make me happy.
Yeah.
But when you have players that, like Sonny Gray, that are out there, that is that second tier, where he had a really good season last year, and then you throw in a reliable arm like a Michael Walker, comparable pitcher, and then you develop from within with Zach Thompson or whatever. Like, that should be enough to get you in the conversation for the division. Now, what are the Cubs going to do in the offseason, right? We expect big things from them, and John Mozeliak and the Cardinals have never been a reactionary team.
Yeah,
like,
which I actually think is good.
It's good. You can't be reactionary because that's when you start your ego gets in the way of smart business decisions.
Yeah.
But, we had a lot of texts on here saying, well, that people are businessmen and the game has changed and the rules have changed and it's, pitch clock and all this other stuff. Listen, the Brewers last year were the division winners, and they're looking to trade everybody off their roster, and they lost their manager. So that to me means the field is wide open again in the NL Central because the Cubs have not yet done anything player-wise. So we'll see how that works out. But I'm just telling you that I believe the Cardinals' mindset, business-wise, is how much profit can we make without spending a lot of money? And I mean profit in dollars and also wins.
Yeah. But again, that's what smart businesses do.
Yeah, I mean, you try to.
Yeah, that's the goal.
All right. I don't like your take, Jamie.
I hate it too, Anthony. Trust me, I want to punch myself in the face.
Yep. That's Jamie Rivers. He's got your
TV tonight. I can't do it.
Yeah, no. You got to protect that mug. Jamie's got your keys to a Blues victory tonight, plus Carey's first opportunity to select the first goal of the game.
Oh,
that's right. We play the first goal of the game. Marsh is on the board. He's the first one on the board. He's got one win. So we'll do that next on 101 ESPN. Jamie's got keys to victory tonight for the Blues as they take on the Coyotes. Don't forget, we got pregame starting at 6 o'clock right after the Fast Lane. Kerry Davis in here as well. All right, Jamie, keys to victory. And you can't just say, don't do what you did last game against Coyotes.
Okay.
Do the opposite.
Yeah. So whatever you did last game, change it. No? Okay.
I mean, you can. It still applies.
No. Well, I am going to kind of do that by breaking it down into what I think are the keys.
Yeah.
So for me, the first order of business is ozone puck possession time. They had literally like none last time against the Coyotes.
No.
They were in the zone and out of the zone, and you can't. Well, one, you can't compete as a team if you're the Blues if you're not possessing the puck in the offensive zone.
You can't score there.
No.
You can't score, really.
You can score from outside of the offensive zone.
But it's
However,
not likely.
Your percentages are really small.
Just learning here. I'm just figuring some things out.
I've seen a few go in like from long distance.
All right. It's usually nobody in the net at that time, though,
No,
right?
I've seen a few go in from like one end to the other, and the
Okay.
goalie's like, I don't know, eating paint chips or something before that. I have no idea.
Joel Hofer does have a goal.
He does.
While he was in the AHL, I think he actually might have multiple goals.
I think he's got 2 goals. His last one was in the playoffs. He fired it from behind the goal line all the way down the ice. Now, there was no goalie in the net for that one.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
So offensive puck possession time, you've got to find a way to generate some momentum for your offense, and you got to find a way to be in the offensive zone to score some goals. So that's my first key. The second one is discipline. Don't take penalties, because the last time you played these guys, they scored 3 power play goals on you. I mean, they ginsued their way through your penalty kill in a quick way. They've got some really talented players out there that make some really good plays. So don't even give them the opportunity. Just stay out of the box. Blues are the least penalized team in the NHL right now, so they should just continue to try and play that way tonight against the Coyotes. Protect the middle of the ice. One that's, in the offensive zone, neutral zone, but specifically in the defensive zone. Last game the Blues played against the Coyotes, there were seam passes left and right through the middle of the ice, and the Coyotes scored 2 goals off of seam passes that ended up with one-timers. You can't let that happen tonight. You have to have sticks and bodies in the middle of the ice, protecting that area. Make it difficult for these guys. Make it difficult for Clayton Keller and Nick Schmaltz to try and get to the net. It was too easy for those guys the last time. You got to be a little more physical there, and that brings me to my last one, is physicality overall. You only had 14 hits last game against the Winnipeg Jets, a division rival. It should have been a little more heated than that.
Yeah.
And the last time they were in here, Liam O'Brien for the Arizona Coyotes skating around like he's Bob Probert. I was not happy about that.
Yeah.
He was running everybody over in guys' faces, challenging the bench, and I would like a response to that. It happened right in front of me, and I got to tell you, my career at Bally's was almost cut short.
Yeah, treat him like Ken O'Brien.
Yeah. So a little more physicality. And I honestly believe that this Blues team plays better when they're physical to get more guys into the game. And it really does. Like, the one thing we used to say all the time is get a hit or take a hit in the first shift of the game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's going to wake you up.
That's the same thing for football.
Yeah.
You're not really, until you get that first, okay, we're here.
Yeah, you
We're
feel like
It knocks the nerves out of you, for sure.
And the adrenaline gets up a little bit, too.
Yeah.
Especially if you're the one getting hit.
Watch a video of Kerry absolutely blowing somebody up in the AFC Championship game today.
First the Ravens.
Yeah, you folded that guy like a lawn chair.
It was fun.
He went.
I liked it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I tried. I really did. Yeah.
Got me excited.
Yeah, me too. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do a couple more I got on my list. You wait around. Yeah.
We're going to the Super Bowl.
Those are my keys to the game right there.
I love it. All right, let's do the first goal.
Let's go, boys.
We need you to score more goals.
Get those loose pucks.
Thomas to Kyrou. Score!
Goal!
No big deal. Game winner.
All right, so this is how it works. So, Kerry, you've never done this before. All we're doing, have you heard our home run derby challenge? Okay,
Yep.
Same idea.
Okay.
You have to pick a blue.
Okay.
They have to score the first goal for you to get a point.
All right.
That's it. Those are the rules.
Am I going first?
You
We are
are the
absolutely
guest.
going first.
So,
Yes.
All right.
Marsh, by the way, is up 1-0 on everybody.
Who did
'cause
Marsh pick?
He had Robert
Thomas?
Thomas.
All right.
He took.
He has four goals in the last
He
4
scored
games.
four in a row.
Yeah.
In a row. He's been playing really well. And with that being said, I'm going to go Pavel Buchnevich. because of
the mooch.
Yeah, he had some opportunities last game. He had one where he just, I don't know how the hell the puck got off his stick and he didn't even get a shot on goal. He's been right there a couple of times, and I think tonight is the night.
I think it's a great choice. I mean, he was frustrated after last game.
He was pissed off. He is not happy.
No, not happy at all. He was, upset. He's going to continue. He's going to want to shoot the puck even more tonight. So I like your pick. Thank you. It's a good one.
Jamie, who do you have?
Let's see here. I think that Brandon Saad gets on the board here first. I think that
I've taken him a couple times.
I have. It's just because he finds himself in those areas a lot. And even though he hasn't put the puck in the back of the net a ton, he's still involved. He's at the net. He's crashing. He's banging. There's rebounds that are there, deflections to be had. So I like him. I like Brandon Saad tonight.
I'm going to take a guy that's been absolutely flying around the ice recently. I think he's played very well for them. Oh, I got Kasperi Kapanen scoring the first goal tonight. I'm going to go Kapanen. All right, Marsh, the current leader in the clubhouse. Who do you have?
I'm going to go with a guy that scored one of the lone goals against Arizona last time in Jakub Vrana.
So a little backstory on this from watching these guys work on their power play today is that Perunovic and Vrana were going over a sequence to where we're setting Vrana up for that one-timer from that spot at the top of the circle. So if the second unit gets any substantial time on the power play tonight, look for it to go from half wall to Perunovic up top, back down to Vrana for the one-timer.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Why don't they shoot more one-timers? That kind of pisses me off, too.
Yeah, I don't know, Kerry.
Okay, just wondering.
I fully agree with you.
No idea.
What the hell are you, what are you doing? What's going on?
In a day and age where all you're trying to do is move the goaltender.
Yeah.
Because the goaltender's so big and so good that if you don't move the puck, they don't have to move.
Correct.
So
Right.
they cover the net. The number one thing, even if you move the puck 10 inches or a foot this way, the goalie has to adjust, which means there's holes.
Yeah.
So when you pass that puck for the one-timer, it's the goalie has the least amount of time to get set than any other shot. So I fully agree with you on that one.
Just wondering.
No, that's a good question.
You do know hockey.
I've been watching it a long time.
I don't care what Anthony said about you.
Don't listen to that guy.
I don't care at all. And he said some stuff, let me tell you.
Hey, we'll talk about it. Yeah. Don't listen to that guy.
You know your hockey. Anthony.
At what point did you talk to the chief about applying the oop-de-oop to the power play?
I haven't crossed that bridge yet. I was about to, middle of last game, at the middle of the second period when we do the interview.
You know what, Jamie?
Then I looked over and Chief's face was purple.
You put together a play for him, and he won't pass it along.
I got the oop-de-oop. I'm going to isolate one to the right, okay? Krug on the power play. He's the quarterback. You got three to the other side.
Okay.
Defense is going to be hemmed to that side. Got a couple routes on that side, but we're going to isolate one-on-one.
I like that idea.
Thank you.
You didn't want to pass it along,
Jamie. Here's the thing. This is how it works, Jamie. Power play continues to struggle. It's on you now.
All right.
Well, you know what, Anthony? Because you're giving him solid and vital information. He is not passing it along. So what are we doing here,
guys? You know,
but you talk to him.
Yeah, you talk to him all the time.
You can suggest things.
And I know you've given him some tidbits and stuff. I don't understand why you won't pass this on.
Yeah.
Nor will you pass along my F19 route. Play.
No, I haven't passed that one on yet. Although they did try to use it a couple of games ago. There was a high flipper, and Blues forward tried to chase it down. So they listened to the show.
It's off the glass.
I like that idea, too.
F1's running a 9 route, Gary.
Okay.
Streaking up, boom, puck off the glass. It's billiards meets hockey meets football.
I don't know. Does that work that way?
Damn right it does.
It can. There is actually a play that we used to run in the defensive zone to where you'd win the face-off to the corner, and the player would grab it and fire it off the weak side boards to your first guy, he's supposed to go out to the defenseman at the boards, but he didn't. He'd go and take a route right up the middle.
Nice.
And slip him.
Then the puck would go out, and then it's a foot race.
I like that.
Yeah.
The oop-de-oop is actually isolated for Torrey Krug. With all that attention to the
he shooting
the trips.
I hope so.
And then the other side, you got the one-on-one.
Okay.
It opens up the middle of the ice for Krug. It's actually a play for Krug.
Okay. But he has to shoot the puck when he gets.
Yeah, he's got to skate in. He's got to shoot it.
Okay.
That's the beauty of it.
That's probably the most important part of the entire play.
Yeah. It's simple yet complicated.
Absolutely.
You know?
We got our sports six-pack next.
Like Anthony.
Exactly. Yeah, I've been told that. Air Comfort Service tax line 314-399-9646. You got a question for us? We'll do our sports six-pack next.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. We just heard Jamie's keys to tonight's Blues game as they take on the Coyotes. You can listen to that one right here on 101 ESPN. 6 o'clock pregame, 7 o'clock puck drop. We'll talk later in the show with Chris Kerber. Once again, Blues Coyotes pregame at 6, puck drop at 7. Catch all the action right here on 101 ESPN. Also tonight, Bears and Panthers. Thursday night football. Maybe we'll talk about that. Maybe we won't. We do have our sports six-pack coming up next, though, so if you have a question, send it our way to the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. Sports six-pack coming your way next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center Update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is refreshed by Maggie O'Brien's, your go-to Irish pub in St. Louis for over 42 years.
All right, time for the Sports Six-Pack here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Kerry Davis and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Here's Andrew Marsh.
Question number 1.
All right, gentlemen, from the 636, what's the one stock answer athletes use during an interview that drives you nuts? If you had free reign to say whatever, how would you rephrase that said stock answer?
Ooh. You got one, Kerry?
We both played really well. It just didn't go our way today. We gave our best effort. Sometimes the other team was a little bit better than us. How do you rephrase it? We stunk. They played better. We weren't really prepared for the game. We had too many guys not doing enough, and we didn't do good enough. And unfortunately, they kicked us in the teeth.
I like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, mine's similar because a lot of the stock answers are very similar.
They are all the same.
They don't
no matter
really
the sport.
say anything.
Yeah, we just got to get to our game and, get pucks in deep and, get the cycle going. And, I think we'll be good.
Yeah. That's pretty much it.
That's kind of where I was going with it, is playing, we need to be a better team overall, play as more of a 5-man unit out there. We got to get we get the pucks in and possess the puck. Translated is we were all on our own page tonight. We stunk and we couldn't put anything together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you were giving them truth serum, they would tell you, hey, what the hell we were doing today.
What I think of this guy?
I tell you, he sucks.
Let me tell you something. No, it's okay. That's okay. I won't spill my drink.
Mine would be, I don't know, I got to go watch the film.
You were there on the sidelines. You got the best spot in the whole
that is my
stadium to
favorite
see it. You saw your quarterback, you throw it right to the other team.
Anthony, I told you.
And they've got the iPads literally right there.
I just watched my film from last Friday night, and I don't know if you all know this. Last season, this is my 6th year coaching. Last year, this is a new computer. You see that? Talking about that last year. You know why? Because I had an older version of it that I punched because the answers that I was getting were not sufficient enough from my high school children. And so I took the camera, I took the computer, punched right through the screen, and said, "You all get the hell out. Just go home."
I bet they got out of there in a hurry.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yep, you got it. Yep.
We got a text from the 636. Now, this quote, I don't think it's from an athlete, but it could be from someone that we know. That's easy. Well, if you look internally, our options are exciting.
I know what they're doing there.
That might have been the actual individual.
Yeah.
That might have been him.
Man, that was a quote. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Not great.
Question 2, please.
Question number 2.
From the 619, do some refs abuse their power?
Yes, of course they do. Have you ever watched a game? Especially the refs that call a penalty or do something, and then they start yelling at the player. I mean, what's the player's recourse at that point? To punch him in the face? Well, that's going to work out poorly. What's his recourse? To get back in his face?
Yeah.
That's going to work out poorly. It drives me nuts. Like, back in my day, when there was a relationship with the referees, and you could bark at each other. And there was a mutual respect to where the ref would be like, all right, maybe I screwed up. Maybe I got it wrong. I'll go find out, whatever. And as a player, you'd be like, well, the ref is barking back at me. Okay, maybe I am being an idiot. Whatever it is. But somewhere it got changed to where the referees now have all the power. Yeah. And they get up and they'll like grab a player by the jersey and like tell him something. I'm like, can you imagine if I skated over and grabbed the referee by the jersey?
No.
Can you imagine?
I again, coaching high school football, playing the game. I had an interaction with a referee this past weekend, and he said, you know what? I messed up. I apologize. It brought me down from 10 to 0. Thank you. Yeah. And acknowledging that you were wrong, you missed the call. You apologize for it. I can accept that because I'm going to make some bad calls. My players are going to make some bad plays. The referees are human. They're going to make some mistakes. But acknowledging it and saying, you know what, I screwed that one up.
You respect that.
I can apprate that.
The referees back, when I played, were a lot like that. Like Kerry Fraser, even Tim Peel, he's local here now. They would go back and they'd come back after the intermission because they'd go watch it, right? If you got that heated, like, okay, is this guy an ass or did I screw this up?
Right.
And they come back and either say, no, you're wrong, man. You go watch the tape. You go, and then be like, okay, I got you. Or they come back and say, yeah, I screwed up.
Yeah.
I owe you one.
Yeah.
And so then I knew, like, no matter what, the next shift, I could go up there and do anything except commit murder. And I wasn't going to get a penalty.
I didn't see anything. Hey, you keep going.
You only have one, Spider-Man style.
Well, that's it. One time, Kerry Fraser, I was in front of the net, and I slashed a guy like 3 times. And he goes, that's 3. He goes, if you get one more, and he says, I'm giving you a penalty. So I slashed him one more time. He gave me a penalty. And then I called him some words on purpose because I knew they'd get me thrown out of the game. There's a couple things you can call an official that gets you automatically thrown out. And then I saw Kerry Fraser later on that night at the bar. He's like, what the hell is your problem? I'm like, did you see my stat sheet? I was like -4 in this game.
Trying to get the hell out of here.
If I'd have stayed in that game, it'd have got even worse. I needed to get thrown out. So I'm like, I'm glad you gave me the bar of where you give me one more. I was like, perfect. Then I knew exactly what I was doing. He laughed. He's like, you son of a gun.
That's awesome.
Question number 3.
From the 314, could the Cards stabilize the outfield with a trade or signing that no one sees coming to then allow them to move that crowded outfield depth for pitching?
I mean, you could acquire Juan Soto and stabilize your outfield, but I don't.
Is that going to cost you?
That's not the answer. That's not. That just compounds your problem.
That is the answer. You said,
but now you've thrown a whole bunch of money at a position that.
You don't need to.
You don't need to do it.
Sorry, what was the question again, Marsh? Maybe these two weren't paying attention.
Here's the words that.
Thank you. Thank you for admitting you weren't paying attention.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what he said either.
Go ahead, Marsh. Please read it again for these guys.
Could the Cards stabilize the outfield with a trade or signing that no one sees coming to then allow them to move that crowded outfield depth for pitching?
You see Juan Soto coming? No.
But then what
Would he stabilize the outfield?
Moving?
Yes.
Yeah. What the hell are you moving out of that outfield for pitching?
Nothing.
Exactly.
Dylan Carlson?
What? For what?
I don't know. Yeah, exactly.
Rich Hill?
Maybe.
I love how Rich Hill has become.
We're the same age,
floor.
so I'm a Rich Hill fan. The hell with that. He be a 43-year-old guy that just rub some Tiger Balm on that thing and let it rip.
That's fine.
We'll see how long he lasts.
Look, Kerry, that's fine when you have nothing. But trying to rebuild this.
You just said it.
Well, I mean, you're trying to do better.
Oh, okay.
43. He's fine.
He's 44, 43.
Nobody knows.
Sign him. He might be 45, 46.
Oh, the Cardinals will give him 3 years.
Sign him up. Let's
3
do
years,
it.
10 mil. Unbelievable. All right,
question number 4.
We'll do one more. This one's from our Air Alliance team, our YouTube friends watching us on YouTube. This one is from I believe, where did it go? It just went away.
That's his name, Marsh.
Oh, there's just so many comments.
I mean, nothing like live radio.
Hey, it's fine. Marsh, you're doing great.
I have no idea how to say this person's name, but
Don't
it
worry
starts
about
with
it.
a P.
All right.
Does Mike Schilt get the Padres back to the playoffs before the Cards can get back?
Is Mike Schilt the manager?
Did he get hired?
Yeah.
No.
He's still waiting to get him hired.
Yeah.
They're still trying to find somebody else.
It's P. Sim Man. That's how you say it.
That's how you say it?
He told us earlier. Yeah, yesterday.
P some man?
P. Sim Man.
Oh,
P.
okay.
Sim Man. P. Sim Man.
So he's Pizza Man.
Pizza Man.
Pizza Man.
Pizza Man.
There you go.
There you
That's
go.
what we're calling.
I like it.
Mike Schultz. Yep. He is the coach. Well, he's a baseball coach for the Padres.
Did he get hired as the manager yet?
I don't think he
I
did.
don't think so.
No.
We would have heard
They
about
have
it.
a better roster right now than the Cardinals do, don't they?
I mean, this just happened. Yes, they do.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's got to be one of those things where it's like when when Luke Voigt, local product Luke Voigt, went to the Yankees. It's like, see, you screwed up. He's hitting between Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton.
But he's still hitting.
Yes, in a hitter's park. Got a jet stream out to right
If
center.
that's the
He's hitting
If
between
that's
two
the case, Joey
behemoths.
Gallo should have had that success too, Anthony.
Joey Gallo had some issues playing in New York.
There's some bigger
He had some
issues.
confidence issues. Luke Voigt,
No
zero confidence issues for Luke Voigt. When you can play
Top
with the jersey,
button, optional.
it's not even the top button, it's the top three buttons.
I
Give
saw
it to
his
me.
belly
Do it.
button one time.
I mean,
he had that sucker right down.
Do it. Go ahead.
I mean,
He had
come
the
on,
Tom
man.
Jones V going.
Yeah.
Now he's playing for a team where they don't even have sleeves.
That's even
It's
better.
perfect for Luke Voigt. It's perfect for Luke Voigt. All right, since Jamie's not going to be here tomorrow, we're going to do our NFL Pick'em Challenge, and maybe we shoot Carrie next too.
Yeah, let's do
These
that.
rules. What the hell is going on here?
Watching your faces at the same time was perfect. Carrie's like, nah. Jamie's like, yeah, let's do it. All right, NFL Pick'em Challenge picks next on 101 ESPN.
Slate Football Pick'em Challenge on 101 ESPN.
Refreshed by Bud Light.
Well, you sure know how to pick 'em.
All right, tonight you have Panthers and Bears. It's a dream matchup.
Oh, baby. They've been waiting on this one all season.
Feel like draft picks, yeah.
Amazon's so pissed right now.
Jeff Bezos guy, he couldn't watch any football prior to reading this breakdown of which games he would have on.
He's like,
on
the Bears. They've been around a while.
Chicago, Mike Ditka, right?
Yeah, Mike Ditka.
He's still playing?
Walter Payton,
Walter
right?
Payton.
Yeah, those guys are awesome.
Gale Sayers should be playing well tonight.
And the Panthers, Cam Newton.
No. Luke Kuechly's going to make a lot of tackles.
The most money.
Wow.
The biggest empire, Amazon, and they get these games.
That's correct. Listen.
It's going to change.
I got
Watch.
football.
After their deal, like their initial deal is done, watch this. They're going to be, Thursday night will become the new Monday night football game.
Right,
Gotta be.
No kidding.
Bezos will be like, otherwise my money's going bye-bye.
Yeah.
All right, boys. So you got Panthers and Bears. I took the Bears in this one. The Panthers on the road this season have been, I mean, they're bad overall, but they've been dreadful on the road. I think they've been beaten by double digits on the road all season long. Home team, short week. Bears actually didn't play that bad last week in New Orleans. So give me the Bears.
I got the Bears too. Quick question for you, Kerry, because I was having this debate with somebody down at the rink this morning. And this individual said, when you have two bad teams, always take the over. I pushed back. I said, when you have two bad teams, playing defense is easier than playing offense.
Mm-hmm. Defense is much easier. I mean, I can show you the defensive play sheet, the defensive playbook. It's a one sheet. Yeah. That's all they give them. It's find ball, get ball. Defensive players are not the brightest, crayons in the box. They aren't the sharpest tools in the shed.
I didn't mean to start a fight here.
No, I'm telling you. This is from an offensive guy. So
I can hardly tell.
We had our playbooks were about, much thicker. Yeah. 3 to 4 inches thick. And we had to learn defense. They just line up and go get it.
Yeah.
So it's easier. It is easier to play defense on all levels.
So his theory about taking the overs crap, right?
Yeah, I mean, has he watched either of these two teams play offense?
I don't know. But I just want to go down and tell him tonight when I see him that a Super Bowl champion said, you're wrong.
I take the under unless you're going to get, I mean, we saw a game, what was it? Was the Jets and who? Had like 20-some-odd punts?
Giants.
Oh, my God.
Punters were exhausted. They were pissed.
It's 24
called the union
punts. Like, come on, man.
That said football back well.
It definitely did.
Jamie.
Yeah.
Just to confirm what Carrie's saying to you, you know what group I was in for first grade, right? The reading group?
Yeah, the orange group.
That's correct. The orange group couldn't read. The blue group could read. I was a safety in high school, so what Carrie's talking about, it makes sense.
All right.
Yeah. Here's your gap. Just stay in there. Okay.
That's all you got to do.
That's it.
A, B, C, D. That's the gap you go into. Find ball, get ball. Those are the only key components for defense.
What are you doing next week? Same thing. All right, boys.
All right.
Let's run through these.
Let's go.
So we all have the Bears.
Yes.
Colts,
Yes.
Patriots. That's
have
the early
Colts.
game.
I got the Colts.
Yep.
And Frankfurt. I also
Frankfurt, they put that game? Oh, yeah. They did.
It's the Frankfurt game.
Poor people in Germany.
Yeah, I also took the Colts. After what I watched last week, the Patriots, I'm like, yeah, we're done. We're done here. We're done here.
Out. It's a no for me, dog.
If you can't beat the Commanders at home, see ya.
Done.
Randy Jackson reference.
I have the Patriots.
Oh.
Really?
Do you think Bill Belichick is going to let himself get fired?
No, I don't think he's going to get fired. I also don't think he's going to win this game.
I do think he runs the risk of being fired if he loses this game.
No.
As he should.
No, it's not going to happen.
This is a terrible scene. Have you all sat down, and you're a Patriots fan?
Yeah.
You have subjected yourself to an entire football game of the New England Patriots this year, and you can say with confidence,
my eyes were bleeding.
Anybody deserves to continue to work in that facility?
Out of everybody that I saw in that entire game, the only guy that deserves to keep working is Bill Belichick.
There's work to be done.
Yeah, a lot of it.
Titans with Dan Marino Jr. at quarterback now versus the Buccaneers.
I got the Bucs.
I, too, have the Buccaneers.
I took the Bucs as well.
Damn, I have the Titans.
Oh, my God. We know where this is going.
What the hell is going on, Marshy?
Oh, well, he's probably going to crush it this week.
I hope so.
He's crushed it the last couple of weeks.
I just looked. I came in first last week.
Yeah, you did.
It's all because of the press conference. You guys instilled some confidence in me.
Well, you fixed it.
Yeah,
I watched the Titans offensive lineman. I watched an offensive lineman go down
every quarter.
It felt like every play for one quarter. Like they were just saying, "Yeah, I want to come out now, coach."
Yeah.
Like, get your big ass up and play football, man. We got nobody else. What the hell are you doing?
The
Look
puncher's
over here.
taking snaps.
It's just y'all. What do you want?
Right.
Come on.
Saints and Marsh's Minnesota Vikings.
I have the Saints in this game.
I took the Saints too, but I wouldn't be shocked if Joshua Dobbs.
Marshy, I got the Saints as well.
What's going on here?
Marshy's got the Vikings for sure.
Definitely
I
does.
do. Are you serious? Josh Dobbs was just named the Nickelodeon's most valuable player. He got
That is
slimed.
something.
He got NFC Player of the Week too, I think.
That is something.
That's pretty good.
Slime time, baby.
Problem is they beat Texas Tech last week. There's the
That does matter.
the resume. We're all hyping up Joshua
And who
Dobbs.
they playing this week? Oklahoma State?
Yeah, and Oklahoma State's decent, 49ers Jaguars. I took the Niners in a rebound spot,
Yeah, I
but
did too.
this is one that gave me some pause.
Not me.
Not me either.
I'm not a.
You guys don't like the Jaguars.
I'm not
you
big on
don't
the
at all.
Jags at all. Like they're cool.
You don't like the quarterback?
I do, but I don't
You don't like the running back?
I like Travis Etienne. I like
You don't like the weapons?
yes.
He just
but
doesn't
I
like
don't,
the team.
I don't
You don't
like,
like the defense?
I don't like them as a team that I see winning anything of importance.
All right.
Who you got, Marshy?
Shocker here. I have Jacksonville.
What
Wow.
in the hell
He
is
is
Marshy?
opposite. I had the Niners. I took the Niners.
Why are you
Yeah.
coming off of a bye week?
What?
They got Deebo Samuel more than likely healthy. Should be good to go.
If the Niners are healthy, I'm always going to take them.
It's a noon football game. Well, technically, they're East Coast, so
The one.
they're going to be traveling.
Oh, Marsh.
There's people.
It's going to be an early game.
You get there
for
on
those
Friday.
people out west.
It'll be fine.
Get there Friday.
I'm just saying.
No problem.
All right, Packers versus Carey's Pittsburgh Steelers. If I had a game of the week, it'd be this one. And I'm not a big fan of this version of the Steelers, but that Packers team is absolutely atrocious. And
Worst
I know
matchup, best game.
maybe I got the Steelers. I think it's going to be close just because both teams stink. But the Steelers, I have the most confidence in the Steelers
It won't
this
be
week
close.
out of any team.
It's Pittsburgh.
Well, now we're a little blurred on this one, but I will say.
You saying I'm in rose-colored glasses here?
Not at all, Kerry. They're more like black and yellow glasses, okay?
They definitely are.
Nice.
But I, too, have the Steelers in this one. I got Tiny Tim throwing a couple of
What the hell
touchdowns.
what do you have, Marsh?
I have the Pittsburgh Steelers, so
there
I'm
we go.
redeeming
Finally.
myself.
All right, we'll move quickly here. Browns, Ravens. I got the Ravens.
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 Texans, Bengals. I got the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yes.
The juggernaut Bengals now.
The Bengals.
I'm going with Cincy. I think it'll be a great game, though.
Jamie's Lions or the Chargers?
No-brainer. Lions. Hear me roar, baby.
I got the Lions as well.
I got the Lions.
Lions.
Falcons, Cardinals. Cardinals all day.
I picked the Falcons
All day.
How are you picking the
Because he
I got the
says
Falcons.
that, he'll flip his pick.
I won't flip it.
I got the Falcons.
I won't flip it. I'm
There's no
going
way
to
the
take.
Falcons lose to Kyler Murray
They will.
and the Cardinals.
I guarantee it.
I think so, too. I have the Cardinals.
Thank you, Marsh. He watched last week.
I did. I got to see that team for a full 60
You
minutes.
don't no trust in Arthur Smith, huh?
No, are you
Hand the
kidding
ball
me?
to Bijan and throw it to
Yeah, you know what he's going to do? He's going to hand the ball off to Jonnu Smith when he's not throwing it to Jonnu Smith. If you're a fantasy owner, just take Jonnu Smith. He's going to get 25.
He's going to get 12 carries. He's going to get 12 touches.
Yes. Giants, Cowboys. This one's a no-brainer.
Cowboys.
Cowboys.
See, I got the Seahawks over the Commanders.
Correct.
Yep.
Yes.
I got the Jets over the Raiders in a yet another Raiders primetime game.
I got the Raiders over the Jets.
I think Aiden O'Connell is going to struggle against that Jets defense. I think it's going to be nasty.
I think there's something that happened when they finally got rid of Josh McDaniels.
I agree. I agree.
I got the Raiders.
I'll give you that for a week. I took him last week, but I'm not going to take him this
I
week.
think that defense is going to be a lot.
Yeah, I
A
do too.
lot.
You got the Jets?
I got the Jets.
Okay.
yes.
I think that we're thinking about Jeff Saturday and his first win.
Yeah.
But I think Antonio Pierce probably brings a little bit more to the coaching staff and those players than Jeff Saturday.
There are two teams.
Problem is he still has the same players.
Yeah, that's
One of them is a really good one in Devontae Adams. If
Well,
they
yeah.
can
He's
got
find
two really good
if they could
But you
locate
got to have a
him.
guy get him the ball.
Yeah,
He
Josh
can't throw
Jacobs
to
is really good
himself.
as well. This is true.
And you have Max Crosby on
and
defense.
Max Crosby.
I love that guy.
There are two teams that should run the ball no less than 40 times this weekend, regardless of the score. It's the Jets with Breece Hall, and it's the stupid-ass Falcons with Bijan Robinson. You should run the ball 40 times this week. Bills and Broncos. I got the Bills.
Bills.
Yeah.
Would you guys be shocked if the Broncos pulled off the upset?
No.
I wouldn't either.
Not at all.
No,
I don't think it'll happen, but
not with the way the Bills have been playing.
No. Jamie, we'll see you, buddy.
You got it, brother.
Yeah, we're going to have to pause this Kerry Davis taking
Kerry, thanks for
punishment.
dropping by, baby.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
More often, please.
Yes.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, so Kerry's with us for the next 2 hours.
Yes.
Jamie, you can find him on Bally Sports Midwest tonight for the Blues and the Coyotes. We got the Gauntlet next. It's the Gauntlet Playoffs. We have another returning champion. We'll take on either Marsh or myself next on 101 ESPN.
Gonna be a barn burner tonight. Bears and Panthers. Probably gonna be a terrible game, which is why you should bet it. Have some fun with FanDuel, America's #1 sports book, because right now all customers get a no-sweat same-game parlay for the Thursday night football game. Just place a 3-leg same-game parlay on this week's game between the Bears and the Panthers, and you get bonus bets back even if you don't win.
Jamie, the game doesn't have to be good for you to
no, not at all.
Load up on one side of this thing. Maybe
Totally
you're looking at the Bears tonight, and you like the Bears -3. How about a couple of Tyson Bagent prop plays? He's running around a little bit, loves Darnell Mooney. All of a sudden, you got a same-game parlay that you can win with at FanDuel. And NFL same-game parlays are the perfect way to combine your bets for a chance at a bigger payday. Build your own or choose from one of the popular same-game parlays pre-built for you in FanDuel's top-rated sportsbook app.
You do not want to miss out on this one, so go to FanDuel.com/fast. That's FanDuel.com/fast for your no-sweat same-game parlay over at FanDuel. 21 and over, present in Illinois. Refund issues, non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Max refund $5 unless otherwise specified. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Warriors, 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you master the gauntlet?
Brought to you by Master, your hometown source for business communications for more than 30 years. Visit masstour.com.
4:04, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Time for the Gauntlet, and we've got Andrew Marsh, Kerry Davis is filling in for Jamie Rivers, and I'm Anthony Stalter. We appreciate everybody tuned in. Kyle is our next playoff champion from Gauntlet 2.0. Kyle, what's up, man?
Not much. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great. So remind us, Kyle, who did you beat for the trophy?
My last one was, I think it was you.
Son of a bitch.
Gosh darn it.
What'd you say?
Son of a
biscuit.
He said
Batch
son
of
of a
biscuits.
biscuit eater.
Exactly.
That's
right.
what he said.
All right, Kyle. So Carrie will sub in for Jamie Rivers today. So if you're going down the route of taking a contestant, Carrie is available. Or you can take a category and the wheel chooses your opponent. Which route would you like to go? Would you like to choose the category or your opponent?
Oh, man. I'd like to go against CD. He was texting me back with a little trash talk the other day.
Ooh, nice.
Sounds about right.
About Francis Ngannou and Tyson Fury, he knows.
Oh, I do remember that.
I think I'm going to play baseball.
Okay, so you're choosing baseball as your category.
Yes, sir.
All right, so that means you're going to stick with, if you advance today, you're going to stick with the category, and the wheel is going to choose your opponent. So let's find out who you take on today. Kyle, go ahead, tell Marsh to spin the wheel.
Spin that wheel, Mark.
All right, here we go. Marsh has played our first two playoff champions.
Okay.
1 win, 1 loss. And it is going to be... Oh, Kyle, you got your wish, man. You got baseball, the category.
Alrighty.
And you did get CD because the wheel spun Kerry Davis today. So you get both.
You're in trouble, my man.
Let's do it.
Oh, wow. Kyle's talking trash. All right, so Kerry's going to make his way into the cone of silence. And Kyle, you're going to get 4 baseball questions, as you know. Each question is worth 2 points, unless you need the options. And those questions become worth 1 point. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
New Cubs manager Craig Counsell spent 16 seasons as a player in the big leagues. 6 of those years came with the Brewers, but Counsell also spent 6 seasons with which other franchise?
And I know he scored the winning run for the Diamondbacks. I'm going to go... I'll go Diamondbacks. Final answer.
Question number 2. Before the Phillies took Aaron Nola with the 7th overall pick in the 2014 draft, the right-hander starred for which SEC program?
Oh, man. I believe it was LSU. Final answer.
All right, Kyle, question 3. Mark McGwire led the 1998 Cardinals with his then record-setting 70 home runs. Who was the other Redbird on that team to club more than 30 home runs?
I'm sorry, you cut out on that one. Okay.
I'll read it to you again. Mark McGwire led the 98 Cardinals with his then record-setting 70 home runs. Who is the other Redbird on that team to club more than 30 home runs?
1998. Oh, my goodness. I know we had Langford. It's got Ron Gant, Brian Jordan, Gary Gaetti. Gary Gaetti's from my hometown, by the way, Centralia. But I'm going to go with... I'm going to go Ron Gant. Final answer.
Question number 4. Name the MLB team that plays its home games at Guaranteed Rate Field.
The Guaranteed Rate Field?
Guaranteed Rate Field.
White Sox. I'm going to go White Sox.
Final answer?
Yes.
All right, Kyle, let's bring back Kerry Davis now from the Cone of Silence. How you feeling? Kyle, how you feeling?
Oh, I don't know, man. That one got me. No, those questions were tough.
They were pretty tough today.
It is the playoffs.
Yeah, it's the playoffs. Yeah, you got to step up.
I'm telling Stadium, that's not easy.
All right, so Kerry is back from the Cone of Silence. How was your first trip to the Cone of Silence?
It was peaceful, restful.
Nice.
Yeah, I got some time to think about what I was going to do here.
Okay.
I'm going to take care of business.
All right,
playoffs.
there you go.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Marsh, go ahead and tell Kerry. What he's up
Kerry, you
against.
need to pack a lunch.
Gosh darn it.
No, we do say that to everybody.
All
but,
right, good.
You know,
It's
hey.
good to know.
All right, Kerry, you know the category is baseball.
Yes, I do.
Here we go.
All right.
New Cubs manager Craig Counsell spent 16 seasons as a player in the big leagues. 6 of those years came with the Brewers, but Counsell also spent 6 seasons with which other franchise?
Oh, I was looking at this earlier today. He won a world championship. And I want to say it was with the Diamondbacks. I'm going to go Diamondbacks, final answer.
Question number 2. Before the Phillies took Aaron Nola with the 7th overall pick in the 2014 draft, the right-hander starred for which SEC program? Or program, as they would call it.
SEC program. Now, one would assume that Vanderbilt always puts baseball players on. That's going to be one of the options now that I said it. Dum-dum. All right, give me the options.
Options are Auburn, LSU, or Ole Miss.
Oh, good. Thank you. Auburn, LSU, or Ole Miss. It was LSU. I went LSU, I think. Pretty sure. LSU. Yes, it was LSU. Final answer. Go Tiger. Go Tiger.
That was a hell of a... You were running downhill there for a second. All right, Kerry. Mark McGwire led the 98 Cardinals with his then record-setting 70 home runs. Who was the other Redbird on that team to club more than 30 home runs?
Oh, man. I'm going to need options here, pal.
Ron Gant, Ray Langford, Dimitri Young.
Let's go Ray Langford. Feel like that's correct. Can I phone a friend? No?
No.
Okay. Final answer.
Question number 4. Name the MLB team that plays its home games at Guaranteed Rate Field.
I'm going to know it when I hear it. I'm sure I probably need to answer this without any options, but I don't know it without the options, so give me the options, please.
Options are the White Sox, the Guardians, or the Braves.
Oh, it's not the Braves. I think it's the White Sox. Ooh, go Guardians.
Final answer?
Final answer.
All right, let's go over these. New Cubs manager Craig Counsell spent 16 seasons as a player in the big leagues. 6 of those years came with the Brewers, but Counsell also spent 6 seasons with which other franchise? Kyle, you said Diamondbacks. Kerry, you said Diamondbacks. Correct answer is...
It's the Diamondbacks.
Neither of you needed the options on that one. Nice job, fellas. 2-2 tie. Before the Phillies took Aaron Nola with the 7th overall pick in the 2014 draft, the right-hander starred for what SEC program? Kyle, you said LSU. Kerry, you said LSU. Correct answer is...
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
But Kyle did not need the options, so Kyle is now up 4-3 over Kerry. Mark McGwire led the 98 Cardinals with his then record-setting 70 home runs. Who was the other Redbird on that team to club more than 30 home runs? Kyle, without the options, you said Ron Gant. Kerry, with the options, you said Ray Langford. Correct answer is...
Ray Langford.
Ray Langford had 31 home runs that year. We are now tied at 4 apiece.
Well done.
Comes down to this.
Alrighty.
You guys have separate answers, so we will not have a walk-off today.
Alrighty.
Name the Major League Baseball team that plays its home games at Guaranteed Rate Field. Kerry, you went with the Guardians. Kyle, you went with the White Sox. Kyle.
You have chosen wisely.
It is the White Sox. Kyle did not need the options on that one, and he beats Kerry today 6-4. Nice job, Kyle.
Good job, Kyle.
Hey, you too, CD. I'm telling you, compare yourself to DeMarco Farr. You're a genius with baseball.
I appreciate that. I think.
But I am doing the Ric Flair stretch around my house right now.
You should. Good job.
Nice job, Kyle. So you survived in advance. So you're going to go into our winner's circle, and we'll circle back to you once the other contestants go through one time.
All right, you guys. I'm a big fan, man. I love you guys. Morning show, you too, CD, with Randy, all of you.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate you, Kyle. Thank you. Thanks, Shout out to Anthony there. Nice. All right, you too, Kyle. Good job. All right, so Kyle advanced. We have now 2 playoff champions that have advanced to the next round.
Gosh darn it.
Nice try, Kerry.
Well, that's right.
That was good, though.
It was close.
I thought if you got that White Sox one correctly, you would have tied.
It'd have been 6-5. He didn't need an option.
That's right. That's right. Because you were going to take the options no matter what. Yep. That's a good battle, though. Good battle.
Good game. Right,
we got Chris Kerber. Hopefully the Blues put together a good game tonight and beat the Coyotes. We'll talk to Chris Kerber about that and some other Blues-related topics next on 101 ESPN.
time for Curbside with the voice of the Blues, Chris Kerber. Brought to you by Scott Lee Heating Company, a proud Mitsubishi Electric Elite contractor.
With Kerry Davis, I'm Anthony Stalter. It's a Fastlane on 101 ESPN. And tonight, you'll be able to hear the Blues and Coyotes pregame starting at 6 o'clock with Alex Ferrario, Joey Vitale, and our guy Chris Kerber, who joins us right now via the 101 ESPN Celebrity Line. What's up, Kerbs?
Anthony, how are you today?
We're doing great. CD's with me, so you're going to have opportunity to talk to CD once in the morning, I think, this week, and once in the afternoon. Yep. So it's going to be good stuff.
That's perfect. Hey, see, before we get into hockey, CD, I saw a meme either yesterday or the day before, and it had a shot of Wellington Mara on it, right? And you know, with the New York Giants there, and it's just how far this franchise got. And it had a great little thing that I thought actually transcended a lot of sports. It said, like, in the end, like it's football, really. How hard is this? And it was such a great, like, when you think of all the franchises that have struggled in the different sports for so doggone long, when you cut through all, and I had a great conversation this morning with Bill Armstrong of the Arizona Coyotes, their general manager. Like, when you cut through all the baloney, some of the basics are still there, and you're like, man, after like a decade, you haven't figured out how to put some X's and O's together to find more wins. It's really quite an exercise in utter failure in the world of sports if it takes you that long to turn franchises around.
Well, at least you all have won a Super Bowl or a couple of them this century. There are some that haven't even been in the playoffs or been to a Super Bowl. So you still have that. You could be the Detroit Lions, who haven't had a great, 50, 60 years of football. Cleveland Browns.
Well,
that doesn't make you feel any better, but it's something.
So, but now here's the difference, though. But I don't put, like, you could have had some good teams. Take the Buffalo Bills, okay? Right, like the Buffalo Bills would be like, they had some chances, they had some good teams, they've had some stars, and things just didn't go. The Blues over 50 years, right, had some really good teams, had some stars, had some pure fire Hall of Famers, right, and never got over the hump to winning the championship.
Yeah.
You can still be a good franchise, a competitive franchise, and stuff like that, and just not have the fortunate turn of events to win a championship. But man, there's a difference in just the simple factor of turning franchises around. It's amazing how bad certain groups of people, organizations are at it, and once they get in that vortex of futility, it's amazing how it takes them forever to get out of it.
Once you get there, it's hard to get out. It's harder to stay, but it's really hard to get out. And some of those programs, some of those organizations, they know how to lose really well. And so you don't want to. You want to avoid that as much as possible. The Giants, I think, will be okay. They got to figure out their quarterback situation. I don't know what the hell they're going to do there. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Curbs.
Keep them healthy.
Curbs, maybe this is a perfect transition. You also, though, when you get the right ownership group that hires the right coach or the right GM or both things, then you can turn things around in a hurry. And I feel like that happened with the Blues. If you want to cross sports, you go to Michigan. I mean, Michigan was down for a while. They went through, trying to find the right Michigan man. Eventually wound up with Jim Harbaugh, and things have turned around. But when it comes to the Blues, I feel like when the ownership group led by Stillman came in, things almost fell into place. And you have Army and now Chief, and you got the right men in charge.
So part of the conversation that I had today with Bill Armstrong was about that topic exactly. And he told me when they were started to look and figured out how you're going to draft guys like Thomas, guys like Kyrou, they started realizing there were certain characteristics of the people you need, and then certain skill sets that you had to be able to put in there. And he said he's gotten to the point now that you can see the successful teams like the Blues and what they did to get over that hump. Like, they realized at the time with Berglund and those guys, they were becoming a very slow team in a game that was trending where you needed more speed and you needed skaters. And the Blues had to make a pivot, and they started making it with their draft picks. You can look at teams now, he says, and you can look at their prospects and realize that those teams haven't figured it out yet.
and they're going to struggle for a little longer. And I've got to think that that's a similar scenario, frankly, across sports.
Curbs, when I'm looking at this Blues team, I see the talent, I see the work ethic, but I don't see the consistency. And we've talked about this before. What do they need to do in order to stay consistent? Berube talked about it, just not playing hard enough, getting after the puck in the second period of last game. How do they find that consistency?
Yeah, I talked to Craig about that a little bit this morning too for our coaches show. I think there's two parts, well, maybe three parts to it, Kerry. First part, some of these younger players still need reps. And the only way you're going to get them reps is you're going to have to put them in high-pressure, high-danger situations and let them figure it out. You're going to get some errors made in there, and sometimes that's going to lead to some momentum changes, ups and downs, and that appearance that consistency isn't there yet, right? Mm-hmm. The second part is, to me, I think a little bit of mental toughness. When I talked to Craig Berube about toughness earlier in the year, he said, I'm not talking about fighting. He goes, I'm talking about the mental grind of the season where it's not even from game to game. Sometimes it's shift to shift. And the fact that the Blues have not had a game, this is game number 12 tonight, they have not had a game where there's been a lead change in regulation or overtime. The only asterisk, of course, is when the Dallas Stars scored first and the Blues won the shootout, right? But it was the Blues never led in that game. So to him, it was the toughness of managing those momentums. He said they had a great first period in the last game. They came out and when the momentum shifted, they weren't able to go back and grab it. And to me, that's a mental thing. That's a toughness thing. I think the Blues are better off this year to handle some of those highs and lows than they were last year. We'll see if that proves to be. And then the other thing, honestly, you got to be honest with where you are talent-wise and franchise-wise against your competition. Playing a team that can be a little inconsistent like Arizona, maybe you've got some chances. If you're playing the higher-end teams like Colorado, and Dallas right now, maybe Boston, they may take advantage of some of your weaknesses more. So it's a combination of those three things, and it's when that all comes together that you really see that consistent battle that puts you over to the elite side of the franchises.
Curbs, have you talked to Craig Berube about that? Like, how do you get them to be, that mental makeup of I was just talking to Jamie about it. You need to go one play, and then you need to go one more play. And so for them, one shift, okay, my best shift. Okay, I got another shift in me. Just continuously telling yourself one more time, most maximum effort. Does he talk to them? How does he get that into them, instilled into them?
Well, it's a process. This is the way we want to play. If you're faced with this scenario, for example, you're bringing the puck up the ice, they've got the blue line pretty much covered, get the puck in, chip it in rather than try to carry it in and turn it over. And then it's also putting it in the right spot. If you look at that last game, especially the second period, the Blues would get the puck in, but every dump in they put in there, it was like Connor Hellebuck had the ability to play it, right? He had the ability to stop it. And we've seen how good Jordan Binnington and really Joe Hofer and how much it helps the Blues defense when your goalie's able to stop the puck and play it. So it's continuing to put that process. If it doesn't go the way he wants in a game, he shows them film. They go on the ice. They work on it. They work on battle drills. They work on where those dump-ins have to go. And then it's from one game to the next, practice to the next, practice, that you eventually start to see that go. And it is honestly by repetition. And then at some point in time, and Kerry, you got to talk to this because I can't. I don't think Anthony can, since the two of us have never been in the situation like you guys. Sometimes it's just up to the players to play right and execute what the coaches have done. Mm-hmm. Most times, coaches actually have done a great job preparing teams. It just comes down to whether or not they can execute it. And sometimes it's like if you talk to Berube, you talk to Steve Ott, you talk to Davey Alexander or one of these guys, they tell you what the game plan is, and you watch the game, you're like, that's exactly what they said. And then when it didn't go your way, you go, it happened exactly why they didn't. And sometimes the players just have to play it and make it happen.
You forgot my one stint with the Chicago Bears, Curbs.
Yeah, my apologies there.
Going back to something you said a couple of minutes ago, when it comes to where the Blues are right now roster-wise, Curbs, one, I agree. Two, how different are things if they could get this power play in order? I realize it's like, if they just had a quarterback, you'd be a decent team. But, you could talk to it better than we can. If they could just get the power play in order, how different does this offense look?
You're probably talking about a team that is sitting in at worst third place in the Central Division right now. You're talking about a team that instead of being 5-5-1, depending on the timeliness of a couple of those goals, you're probably talking about a team that could be, 6-3-2, 7-3-1. I mean, I do believe the power play could be the difference in 2 wins this season, which is 4 points in the standings. And if those 4 points came against Central Division teams, where the Blues have yet to have a win, and they've got tonight and Saturday night against Central Division teams yet, those are 4-point swings. That could be an 8-point swing over those 2 games if you look at it that way. I think it's enormous. Now, the last 2 games, they haven't drawn many power plays. None 2 games ago. First time in 190 games that they had not drawn a penalty or a power play, and then only 1 in the last game. Craig said today, we've got to get the puck into. We've got to hold it in the zone, and when you do that, you will draw more penalties and take advantage of tired teams. But you're absolutely right. They've just got to. At some point, it's going to go. And for the next quite a while, the Blues power play could get hot for the next 10 games, and their season percentage is going to look like dog doo-doo because of this start. So we're going to, at some point, just have to cut a line and start over. But the power play absolutely has to get going. Can and should. It's had a chance to increase leads, Jamie. It's had a chance to tie games. It's had a chance to win games, and it hasn't come through yet.
Kerbs, great stuff, man. We appreciate you. We'll be listening tonight when the Blues take on the Coyotes, and looking forward to it, and looking forward to a revenge spot here. Early in the season, revenge spot against Arizona.
That's a big one. Hey, real quick, congratulations to Joe Vitale. Joe will not be on the call tonight. Mike McKenna's filling in. Joey tonight is being inducted into the Northeastern Athletic Hall of Fame, there where he played college hockey.
Oh, fantastic.
That's
awesome.
quite a feat for a young man that grew up in St. Louis playing hockey to be put into the Hall of Fame of a major Division I program.
Yeah,
really
no
cool
doubt.
For him.
Oh, I'm glad you mentioned that, Kerbs. Have fun with Mike tonight. That's going to be a great broadcast, and looking forward to Joe returning when he does.
All right, guys. Have an awesome weekend. Thank you.
You too. Thanks. That's Chris Kerber,
Yep.
play-by-play man here for your Blues here in the home of the Blues, 101 ESPN. That's great, man. That's awesome for Joe. That's fantastic. Good for him. Let's do hot take or hot garbage. If you want to throw out a hot take or hot garbage for us, send it into the Air Comfort Service text line at 314-399-9646. We'll do it next in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Blues taking on the Coyotes tonight. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. We just talked with Chris Kerber, voice of the Blues right here on the Blues Radio Network. If you missed that interview, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 mobile app. You can find all of our interviews there, including the full show. So check it out. It is free to do so. It's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Panthers taking on the Bears in Thursday Night Football. We talked with Jamie before he left the show to go down to the Enterprise Center. We had our NFL Pick'em Challenge, so make sure you check that one out as well. But we have hot take or hot garbage coming up next. So if you have a hot take, send it our way to the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. Hot take or hot garbage coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff. Find new roads and shop 24/7 at londoff.com and londoffautoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
All right, time for hot take or hot garbage in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Send in your hot take at 314-399-9646 with Kerry Davis filling in for Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Take it away, Marsh.
All right, hot take or hot garbage. The Chiefs' success in the playoffs this year is based off the relationship between Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift.
I'm going to call that hot garbage only because I think Taylor Swift's next album will be predicated on the relationship between her and Travis Kelce.
Have you seen the numbers, though? The numbers are in favor of her when she's there.
Yeah,
it's the Swiftie bump right now.
I'm gonna say hot garbage, and I don't know that I need to expand on that.
What do you mean?
Well, who cares? I don't think that Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes are worried about if Taylor Swift is there. I think there's a linebacker that's going to be blitzing that Patrick Mahomes would prefer to be picked up. And I think that there's a safety that Patrick Mahomes would prefer that Travis Kelce beats him on the route. I think that's probably more important.
But aren't the two things
We just got a text. No, hang on. We just got a text from the 314. The Kansas City Chiefs' playoff success is actually based on the relationship with the refs.
Well, that helps,
I mean, if you watch the end of that Vikings game, it's hard to dispute that.
The Kansas City Chiefs are the thing that's scary for me and should be for most other teams in the league about the Chiefs. They aren't playing well offensively.
No.
And they haven't figured it out.
You know they're going to figure it out at some point.
At some point they will. Some point, someone other than Travis Kelce will make a play and continue to make plays and continue, and then they will be really hard to stop.
I think Rashee Rice is coming along.
I like Rice. I do. I think he's probably your guy. I don't know if you trust any of the other ones.
They're all fine.
Yeah,
Kadarius Toney is fine around the line of scrimmage. Sky Moore is fine around the line of scrimmage. They're the same player. They're fine.
They're okay.
They're fine for 3 touches. Cool. Everything else, if you want to go outside the numbers, it's got to be Rice. If you want to go anywhere, if you want to go in the middle, it's Kelce.
I agree.
And then run the damn ball.
I like Isaiah Pacheco. Give him the ball.
Mm-hmm.
He's really good.
From the 314 hot take or hot garbage, the Super Bowl matchup we need is the Eagles versus the Ravens.
I feel like you guys got this earlier and take it or leave it, didn't you?
That's a hot take. I think
it's a hot take, too.
That is a really good matchup. 2 really good defenses. Mm-hmm. 2 really good quarterbacks, and at the Baltimore Ravens, we talked about it on our podcast, Gridiron Guys. Mm-hmm. Check it out if you haven't. We talked about that earlier in the year, that the Ravens just didn't like what they were doing offensively. I didn't.
I said keep waiting.
You did, and we're here, and now they're starting to show us what they have offensively. I think they had over 400 yards, almost 500 yards of offense last week, and Lamar Jackson only had like 187 yards passing. So they are a team offensively that has figured some things out. Defensively, they play really well. I think that would be a really good matchup with the Eagles and the Ravens.
You know, both of those teams, you have to play your A game, and you have to play almost perfectly to beat them.
Yes. Yeah.
Or they beat themselves. Like the Ravens beat themselves against your Pittsburgh Steelers.
And against the dang-on Colts. I don't know how they lost.
Oh, yeah. Well, they lost because Matt Gay hit
And the same thing with the Eagles. The Eagles threw 3 picks to the Jets, and that's why they lost.
Yes.
So they beat themselves, and the Ravens have beat themselves twice.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
So,
did you guys see on the internet that the previous, I want to say 3 Super Bowls, 2 or 3 Super Bowls, with the color that is in the logo actually matches what teams have played? So this year it's in Vegas, and the color is, this is from, I believe, this is for this year. It's purple and red.
Oh,
so
really?
Some people think it could be
49ers and
the Ravens.
49ers and Ravens.
That's who I picked. That's who we both picked.
Yeah, Jamie picked the same
I
group.
prefer to see it as the Chiefs and the Vikings. That's just me.
That's probably wishful thinking, sir.
I don't know. The Vikings.
you
turn things around.
Hey, the last time they had a quarterback come in and have a magical game, they went to the NFC Championship.
Is that
Case Keenum?
Oh.
I like that team a lot. I thought they were going to go into Philly and beat them. I did.
I did too. They scored the first touchdown of the game and said, oh my goodness, here we go. And then they got blown out by Nick Foles.
You know who I watched that game with?
Who?
Kerry Davis.
Did we?
Yeah, we're at
the Super Bowl at the
at that NFC AFC Championship
we
game.
did.
We're over. I think we're over at the.
Was it Westport?
Westport.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm like, the Vikings are going to win this game.
Man, that's probably what they lost. What? Come on. Thanks a lot, Anthony.
Trust me, if I had that much power, I'd be doing a lot more than ruining the Vikings.
That was my senior year of college.
I'm sorry.
I could have went out with a great memory. You ruined
Were you a
it.
Vikings fan then?
I was.
How long have you been a Vikings fan?
Since
the Rams left?
The year the Rams left.
Okay.
And then that next year I became one. Sam Bradford was actually our quarterback. So it kind of helped me. I'm like, well, I'm used to seeing this guy throw the ball 3 feet or 3 yards. And they started off, I think, 5-0 and then decided to not win another game, I think.
That's rough.
I always used to love I don't think I was here for many Bradford years. Maybe 2.
Didn't miss much.
Dude. I used to love getting in arguments with people like, he's got a high completion percentage.
Yeah.
Of course he does. He's throwing the ball 4 feet.
That was that drove me.
Completion percentage.
That drove me absolutely mad. I'm like, bro, he's checking the ball down to the running back. That should be a high percentage pass every single time.
Yes.
He's going to be 80% when he's dumping it 5 yards to the running back. And every linebacker in DB has got to their pass drops. Yeah, drop it down. Yeah, check down. Easy.
Let's do one more here from the 636. Hot take or hot garbage. The Cards are going to slow play their retool into 2025.
It's strong to say it's hot garbage, but it's my only other choice here because I don't think it's a hot take. I don't think they're going to slow that down. I think they know. I think they're going to screw it up just because of their model to build a roster, but I don't think it's going to be on purpose.
It's a hot take for me.
What's the point of doing it then?
I mean, who are you going to get? What money is going to be spent this offseason? What real money? It's Sonny Gray and who else? Because the worst thing that happened for the Cardinals, right, was Shohei Ohtani getting hurt and Julio Urias getting in the trouble that he got because now the market shrunk, and now you have less pitchers and more suitors. And so now they aren't going to outbid some of these teams that are known for spending money. So Aaron Nola,
you're not getting Nola, you're not getting Yamamoto.
Those guys are probably off of the table, which leaves you with.
What if you get Sonny Gray and Stroman?
You feel better, but yeah.
I don't think that there's a benefit of holding it. Sometimes you say, this quarterback is going to be out.
I don't think it would be intentional, but I don't think that there will be anything that forces them to move with a sense of urgency, so to speak.
Yeah, I think they're going to be urgent to sign those guys because, to your point, they're not going to be in that Nola market.
If the numbers
Nola's going to get $200 million.
If the numbers get up, because the numbers don't look very high, the AAV don't look very high for those guys. If they get up to 25, somehow 25, 28 million, you see the Cardinals playing in those waters with multiple pitchers.
No, not multiple pitchers. No,
and so. It depends on what the market does and the other guys are where they are.
You and I are saying this. They're not getting those guys. They're not getting those guys.
It's going to be an interesting offseason. This is, to me, one of the most important offseasons for the Cardinals in recent memory.
No doubt.
Seeing what they do.
All right. Will the Cardinals shy away from the guy? Yeah, they're going to. Absolutely. If you want to leave us a mic drop on this, tell us how you're feeling. You could do that. Kerry Davis, Anthony Stalter's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Again, we're going to get into, will the Cardinals shy away from the guy? 100% yes. It's going to disappoint you, and you're going to cry about it. That's next on 101 ESPN.
Okay, so you filed your taxes this year, but you know you have past IRS issues. And now the IRS letters are coming. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. Don't ignore those IRS letters. They're important and give you rights and deadlines to defend yourself. Waiting could cause you to lose those rights. Call the Lance Story Law Firm now and let us help you get ahead of the IRS and defend your rights while you still have time. The Lance Story Law Firm is located here in St. Louis, so take the first step and hire a tax resolution attorney. We've made it super easy to schedule your free consultation in person, or you can do a phone call and save travel time. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Story Law Firm. Call today at 314-238-7360. That's 314-238-7360. Or go visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
this is what John Mozeliak said recently, and I got this from Derek Gould's, one of Derek Gould's recent articles for STLtoday.com. Said on the starting pitching market being high, this is what Mo said, it's not great for the industry as a whole, right? Just because we don't like it doesn't mean it's not happening. For us to get back to where we need to be, we have to upgrade there. I think we'll be able to do that. But they're not all going to be the guy. That's going to be hard. The upper tier of this market is going to be uber competitive, whereas we know we need innings.
Oh.
So Kerry, this goes perfectly with what we're talking about. They're not going to sign Aaron Nola.
Right.
For $200 million. No. They're not going to sign Yamamoto. They're not going to sign Blake Snell. No. And we could sit here and we could tell you all the reasons why they should and why you as a Cardinals fan deserve it and all that. It's moot. All it's you're going to feel good for a couple of minutes that Kerry and I rant and rave about this. You deserve an ace. It's going to feel good for 3 minutes. The reality is they're not signing these guys. He's telling you that. When he says whereas we know we need innings.
Well, and he's also telling you those top-tier guys are going to be hard to attain.
Yes.
And I told you why, because there are less now. You lost two of them with Julio Urias and with Shohei Ohtani with the injury. You know, and they're playing in markets that are – there's money that's going to be spent by some of these franchises that the Cardinals have not shown a willingness to get into. And so – you know that's going to be a high number, and we're not in those markets. So what are we going to get? Who is available to the Cardinals if it's not Aaron Nola, if it's not Yamamoto, if it's not Blake Snell? Sonny Gray. That's the name that keeps coming across. Is he going to give you innings? Yeah. Is he a 1A starter? Probably not. Mm-hmm. But you need that. So my theory and my thought process has been the entire time, go get you a pitcher via free agency, and then do not be afraid to get you a pitcher via trade.
Yeah.
Find one that you trust, that you believe in, that you feel is good enough to get the job done. For me, it's been Dylan Cease the entire time, and now you have your two starters. Mm-hmm. I don't ever think it was going to be three. I never thought it was going to be three starters. They said outside of the organization, that was what we were told. I never thought it was going to be three free agent pitchers. Now, if you get one free agency and get one via trade, you two, and you figure out the rest from there on. Because you still have to figure out the bullpen as well.
Yeah.
Because I don't know that those guys are the guys you want every single day.
I think you have to add to it. I mean, that's the bottom line there. The starting point for the bullpen is a lot better than the starting point for the rotation.
Is it?
Yeah.
Jojo Romero.
Well, I'm thinking
and Ryan Helsley. You're confident there. Gallegos, Ryan Helsley, and Jojo
Romero. The guy that they got last year in the Texas deal.
John King.
John King. I like John King. Okay.
I'm not saying you don't. You have to add to this group. And I'm not saying that Gallegos doesn't come with his concerns and Helsley certainly comes with his. I'm not trying to talk you out of that.
Okay.
What I'm saying is your starting point is a little bit better than the rotation, because the rotation right now consists of Miles Mikolas, who alternated horrendous months with good months last year, and Steven Matz, who has not pitched a full season in now 3 years. You have not seen that dude pitch a full season in a Cardinals uniform.
Yeah,
that's
injuries.
Your starting point for starting pitching. You know what I mean? And now we have to trust the front office has not been aggressive in spending to go out there and acquire multiple pitchers. So that is where we're starting with this starting pitching. Let me say this, though. The reality is, and people aren't going to like me saying this, but it is the reality. The reality is you have to develop an ace.
I think they have one.
Who?
In Tink Kins.
Well, hopefully, right? Hopefully they have one in St. Kins.
I think he's going to start off in the bullpen, which I'm okay with.
I'm okay with that.
And I feel like, to me, the best role for some of these young guys, if they aren't a day one top five starter, starting rotation type of player, you put them in the bullpen. You allow them to play in games where they have some high leverage moments, but they're not out there and really pressing and really getting thrown into the fire without having experienced it yet. Let them learn in the bullpen. Let them learn via high leverage and then some not so high leverage moments where you can learn how to be a professional athlete, because coming from the minors, coming from high school, college, whatever it may be, to becoming a professional athlete, there is a learning curve. You don't just jump in. It's very rare that a guy can jump in and just have great success from a lower tier, a lower level to coming to the majors, professional baseball, basketball, football, whatever the case may be. That's hard as hell. But to learn how to be a pro is one of the most important things. And I think you can learn that by being in the bullpen, learning from older players, and just going through the day-to-day, rigors of trying to figure out how to become a pro.
Well, I mean, they did it with Waino. They did that. They did that with Lance Lynn. This is an organization that has done exactly what you're talking about. We keep highlighting the Randy Rosarina trade. That was not the trade that set you back 5 years. The trade that set you back 5 years is the one involving Sandy Alcantara and Zach Gallen. Yep. That set you back 5 years. You can talk about Randy Rosarina. Look at the offense. Yeah. It doesn't. That pales in comparison to giving up 2 top-line pitchers that were in your organization.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me either about Zach Gallen and he was this rated prospect. I understand that. What did he become? What did he become?
Who's to say
you had that guy?
Who's to say that those 2 pitchers even become what they are right now if they stay in this organization?
Who's to say Randy Rosarina does that?
Well, he was already pretty damn good in the minors, and they gave him
in a Cardinals uniform.
Yeah, no, he probably would have done the same thing.
Because
he was doing it in Memphis.
Alcantara had an outstanding spring training before they traded his ass. I mean, we can do this with any of those players. My point is, the pitchers that you gave up in that deal became a Cy Young winner and somebody that may win a Cy Young. You gave up 2 of those guys.
Well, the only reason I say the pitchers is because we've established that the Cardinals don't have one of these pitching labs, and they're a little bit behind on the times when it comes to that. That's the only reason why I say the pitchers compared to a position player.
But if you got it, you got it, right? If you have a dude, you shouldn't be able. He shouldn't be halted because you don't have a pitching lab. I understand what you're saying. They're behind the times and all that. They should get up to the times. I don't think you don't need a pitching lab to tell me Max Scherzer's a dude. You know?
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at with that.
No,
I think. And Marsh, you're right. I mean, it's an interesting perspective about maybe those 2 don't. Prosper here.
Well, that comes with the development, though.
Make excuses.
That comes with the development that you're talking about, like learning all of the things, the nuances of becoming a professional athlete, becoming better at your particular sport or your particular position. And if you don't have some of those things, maybe you don't excel in the manner in which Alcantara has or the way that Gallen has in their respective towns.
At the very least, you have to have that stuff to give the player the best opportunity to succeed. So, Marsh, you're right. You have to develop that stuff. This is why you need more resources that you're behind. When you're behind in Major League Baseball, it's not just because of a free agent perspective. It is because you don't have some of those things.
I think it's interesting because that not only that, but it feels like they were behind on a multitude of things. They were a pitch to contact staff, and you know what? Shoot, we got to find guys that can have swing and miss stuff. We are the shift is banned, and we don't realize that we got to play guys in different spots, and we can't play. It just was so many things that I felt that last season didn't go right for the Cardinals, that being out of position, not having the pitchers that could have swing and miss stuff, and not having the guys that play their actual positions in those actual positions, playing all over the place. There are a lot of things that need to be corrected, in my opinion, for this team for 2024. Number one, obviously, is pitching. They have to get some guys, and I don't know if you're satisfied with, some number 2, number 3 starters, because you still need an ace. You preferably need to have 2 guys that you consider aces, but I don't know that they get one of them.
Yeah.
I don't think they get the guy. I don't know. And it kind of goes back to the whole attendance thing. If they don't show up in the offseason, are people going to show up until they start proving themselves on the field come next spring that they're a good ball club? I don't know.
They may not show up early, but if they win, that's the ultimate elixir. But yeah, no, they got exposed last year. So how much did they fix that after being exposed? We got what's trending next on 101 ESPN. Anthony Stalter back, and we called our guy Stewie. Stewie, I'm interested here. So, different opportunities when it comes to buying certain investments, right? We always want to invest. We always want to grow our wealth. You have a new opportunity to do just that.
You know what, Anthony? This is a new thing coming out, and we see it a lot with young folks. They're single, they want to buy a house, but they want some revenue like an investment property, and they want to buy a 4-family unit or a 2-family unit. The problem was, other than going FHA, which is a terrible loan, they had to put down 20%, 25%, and they didn't have that money. Now, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac coming out with new products, conventional loans where you can put 5% down on a conventional loan again, get a great rate, less PMI, and enjoy the cash flow with less money down.
Well, perfect. But you do have to pick up the phone and you have to call Stewie. So if you just heard this and you want to take advantage of that opportunity, then give him a call or shoot him a text at 314-324-4440. Or you can always Google the bagel loan if you did miss that number. But again, that number, 314-324-4440. Stewie, great stuff.
Good.
NMLS number 226715.
What's trending in the world of sports? The Fast Lane has you covered. What's trending now?
Brought to you by Goodwill. Donate to Goodwill to win a magical Polar Express staycation.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN. Anthony Stalter, Kerry Davis. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Gentlemen, we got to get into Michigan. If the Big Ten suspends Jim Harbaugh for Michigan's alleged sign stealing, we should expect a legal fight from the Wolverines. Thoughts on that?
Well, Michigan continues to say, hey, Ohio State, who is it? Ohio State, Rutgers, and somebody else have they've been stealing our signs too. So how dirty do we want to make this? Yeah. I forget what the other team was. Hold on, I can pull this up in a second here. The 4 pieces of evidence. This is from hugeonxx.com. The 4 pieces of evidence the Big Ten sent Michigan, and they referenced, and the response included records of Stallions' tickets purchased and transfers, 1 unsolicited tip by an unidentified person claiming to have witnessed a person in Stallion's seat filming the sideline. And they also have Michigan sending documents to the Big Ten showing Ohio State, Rutgers, and Purdue communicated over the Wolverine signals in 2022. So what Michigan is saying is that those 3 teams, Ohio State, Rutgers, and Purdue, were all in bed together a year ago, giving the Wolverine signals to each other. So, this goes back to the baseball aspect of it, where your pitcher looks like he's using a substance. I'm not going to say anything unless it's egregious because my entire bullpen is probably using the same stuff.
Yeah. I think this is like, those movies where they catch the one guy and he's the crime boss and he starts telling on everybody, oh, you go, I'm not going down by myself. We got a bunch of guys that do the same thing. We're all guilty of the same crime. And then you have to ask yourself, well, the NCAA, the Big Ten has to ask themselves, how far do they want to pull on this thread? Do they want to see it to the end and want to see how dirty all of this really is? Because if there are, I doubt that Michigan is the only team that's doing something along these lines. Now, I don't know that anybody else is sending assistants or staffers to be on opposing team sidelines dressed in opposing team uniform, official gear, watching the team that they're going to play later on that year. That's strange, but I don't know how deep this goes. And so if they do decide to suspend Jim Harbaugh, I hope, I don't know if it's going to impact the team in terms of what the football committee, college football committee is going to do. This is an interesting one to see how, and what I really think is going to happen, I think it's just going to go away. Yeah. I think it's too big for the NCAA and for college football to really continue to pull on that thread and see where it ends. Because if they do, like I said, you're going to have a lot of information that you're going to have to share, or you're just going to have to sweep under the rug and pretend like you didn't know.
Right.
And I don't think that I doubt that they really want to know how dirty it is.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. The NCAA is just going to be like, you know what? We're good.
Not that Michigan thing.
Yeah.
Go blue.
Right.
In fact, they're going to be in the college football playoff this year.
They are.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll lose in the first round again.
That may be the case, but
they're playing Ohio State in the first round. That would be awesome.
They're going to beat Ohio State.
That will never happen.
They're going to play them. They got to play them last game of the year, and then if they were to play them, if they both made it to the college football playoffs and they played in round one, that would be pretty awesome.
I think we could have saw it last year too.
Yeah,
but the way I look at it is, where are we going to get more ratings? The semifinal game, or if Michigan and Ohio State play each other in the college football in the national championship game?
Yeah, national championship game. Yep. It's kind of like setting up Alabama and Georgia.
Yeah.
You know, it's like Georgia is number 1 and Alabama is number 3. So 2 plays 3. Yeah.
Guys, this is a pretty cool thing that Shohei Ohtani did. He donated approximately 60,000 youth baseball gloves to every elementary school in Japan. That comes out to around 20,000 elementary schools.
Wow.
And just looking to spread the game of baseball.
That's great, man. That's awesome. If you have an opportunity to give back, and it doesn't necessarily have to be things like money. You know, it could be your time.
Right.
It could be whatever. So for an athlete like Shohei to give back to his community, especially in a manner of, hey, I play the game. Love to share the game with you. I think that's great.
I think that's the job of being a professional athlete, is to give back to kids that aspire to do the things that you did. I've been in that position. That's one of the things that makes being a professional athlete or a former professional athlete fun. Watching young kids light up when you do something for them that they could never return the favor, but giving them something to aspire to dream big about. I think that's one of the core things about being a professional athlete.
Last thing here, Thursday Night Football. I didn't want to bring it up, but I mean, it's the only football game on tonight. We love football. Bryce Young, he has not been good this year. Not at all. I believe it's his second nationally or like primetime game.
Yeah, they played the
Monday Night
Saints
Football.
on Monday Night Football.
Did they really?
And they almost beat
Yeah,
them.
I think it was a double.
They really
that was
did.
a
One of those
doubleheader.
Yeah. In fact, you know who was playing that same night? Your Steelers. So it's probably why you don't remember the Panthers.
That was Steelers Browns.
Steelers Raiders was a Sunday night game. It was Steelers Browns, right?
That's
Monday Night
when
Football.
Nick Chubb
got injured.
Yeah. I was watching the Steelers.
Yeah, the Saints won by 3.
Yeah.
It was close.
Anyways, though, with Bryce Young, is this the type of quarterback that we're going to see him be throughout his career? Or is there a certain point where the talent that people thought that he would have will eventually show up?
I think the talent that he does have will eventually show up. Now, it's bad right now. He's got the NFL worst 29.6 total QBR. since ESPN began tracking that metric in 06, the only quarterback to be drafted first overall and post a QBR below 30 in their first 8 career starts was Jared Goff. So this is a nice transition. Jared Goff, his first year was with Jeff Fisher, or first half year was with Fisher. And I remember everybody thought that Jared Goff was easily the worst quarterback to ever play. And I'm using hyperbole here, but Jared Goff, look at him now, right system, right fit. When he was with McVay, got to a Super Bowl.
Right.
Without McVay, he has proved to be successful. Why? Ben Johnson tailors things to match up with Goff. He also has one of the best offensive lines in football. He also has Gibbs, and when he's healthy, Montgomery to run the ball. He also has the best slot receiver in the game in Amon-Ra St. Brown. He also has an excellent young rookie tight end in Laporta, who came from Highland here in right across the river. He's got talent around him.
Yeah.
Bryce Young does not. Let's keep in mind too. Trevor Lawrence was terrible under Urban Meyer.
He was, and I don't think that this is who Bryce Young is going to be. I think the thing that probably surprises me the most, the Carolina Panthers ran the ball really well last year.
Yes.
And how you go from that to this, I know it's a new head coach, new offense. You should probably lean in on what they did well, had success on last year. He's going to throw the ball to Adam Thielen.
Yeah.
DJ Chark is out. But you need guys on the outside to make plays. But if you don't have those guys, guess what the hell you do?
Run it.
Hand the ball off, man.
Yeah.
And take some of that pressure off of your rookie quarterback and allow him to, I don't want to say ease his way into games or ease his way into his career.
Just
but
manage it.
Don't put him under fire and don't put him under that type of stress.
Yeah.
Having to throw the ball, as many times as he has. Hand the ball off. Get you some guys around. You went out and got Miles Sanders for what? You got Chuba Hubbard. He's the starter now. So run the ball, give the man some opportunities to play action and make the game easier for him.
CJ Stroud's having a phenomenal rookie year. He's going to have a rookie of the year. He's going to win it.
Yes.
He already won it.
Yes.
He also is playing for a better team. He is. He's playing for a better team behind a better O-line. Better coach, better defense. That matters.
Which is interesting because they had a worse record than the Panthers did last year.
They did.
They were drafted number 2.
Certainly.
The Panthers had to move up from 9 to 1 to take Bryce Young.
But you see, Kerry, you watch the games.
Yeah.
Houston's better. Significantly better.
I think C.J. Stroud is better, which makes Houston look better.
I think it goes hand in hand.
He makes his teammates look better
because of who he is. I think
he's been great.
I mean, Tank Dell, Nico Collins, those aren't names he didn't know the hell they were last year.
No,
you know them now because of the quarterback.
No arguments. That is a better team, though. That is a better team.
Is it a better coach team?
Yes.
Yeah, that might have something to do with it too.
Everything. Yeah. It's a better coach team. The game plans are better. They're maximizing Stroud's talent.
Yeah.
And Stroud, in turn, has been incredible. He's been fantastic. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 at ESPN. Marsh brought up some college football. We can't do a show with CD without getting into some college football here. I'm wondering, as we look at this group of 10 teams or so, 8 teams, who winds up making the college football playoff? Let's get into that next on 101 ESPN. So the College Football Playoff Committee did not make any changes to its top 4. You still have Ohio State, Georgia, Michigan, and Florida State. With Kerry Davis and Andrew Marsh, I'm Anthony Stalter. It's the Fastline on 101 ESPN. I don't think, guys, that we see the same 4 teams make the college football playoff. In fact, I think we could see 2 different teams. And if history's any indication, we probably will. Who do you think is the most likely? How about this? Let's do this. We'll do this in order. Which team in the top 4 is most likely to stay in the top 4? Like your best bet to just
Georgia.
Okay, so I got Georgia too.
Yeah, probably.
I think maybe Florida State. Looking at their schedule,
I just pulled up their schedule as well. They got Miami, North Alabama, and Florida to finish off the season. Which probably not.
They are the now. I'm not counting Ohio State and Michigan because they will play each other at some point. At the end of the season. But out of those 4 teams, they are for me most likely to blow a game in the conference title.
I don't think Ohio
State or Michigan.
No.
Oh, I was
Florida State.
Oh, okay.
So Florida State would still have to play the ACC title game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And they would be playing
Louisville. And Louisville's pretty good.
Yeah.
So I could see them losing that game.
I don't think Florida State makes it. I don't think Ohio State makes it.
Really?
I think Michigan carves up Penn State this weekend, and they take care of business against Ohio State. Ohio State does not have an offense. They have a Marvin Harrison Jr.
So you think that they'll lose to Michigan last game of the year?
I do.
Won't play in the Big Ten championship game and will be out of the playoffs.
Correct.
Now, what if they beat Michigan?
Then they're in.
No. Is Michigan still in?
No, because Michigan wouldn't have the resume.
They wouldn't have played enough or done enough.
No, because you would have one victory in that case against a top 25 opponent. It'd be Penn State.
You're not a
Michigan defeated Michigan won't make it?
No, I'm saying if Michigan loses to Ohio State.
For sure.
Yes.
But Georgia loses. I'm not Georgia. If Ohio State loses, you think they're out as well. So whoever wins that game is in. Whoever loses is out. You don't think Ohio State has an opportunity to lose to Michigan, not playing the Big Ten championship game, and still make it into the playoffs?
I hate that. I hate that.
I think that when you look at they've got 2 wins against 2 top 10 teams. Notre Dame and Penn State.
Yes.
So they would have that's the reason. That's the only reason why they're ranked number 1, by the way. Georgia's a better football team. Michigan's a better football team, in my opinion. The reason why Ohio State's number 1 is because of those 2 victories against top 10 opponents. But when you look at Florida State, I could see Florida State losing in the ACC title game to Louisville. I just feel like something's going to happen with Florida State. They've been walking a tightrope here for a while. Then you got Washington and Oregon. If Washington wins out, which would include having to beat Oregon again in the Pac-12 title game, they would have victories, 2 victories against Oregon, 2 top 10 victories, a victory against USC when they were 20th, a victory against Utah when they were 18th, and whatever Oregon State's going to be ranked, they might be in the top 10 depending on how things shake out this week. There's no way you're going to leave Washington out if they run the table. There's
do you
no
like
way.
Washington? Do you? I know. I agree with you. If they win out, they're more than likely going to be in. Even if I would, Michigan and Ohio State are going to lose a game. So
correct.
Yeah, you would have one of those teams with 1 loss. I agree with you with that. I don't know if they beat Oregon again.
I don't either. I think Oregon beats them.
So let's look at
on
Oregon.
A neutral site when they played. That game was at Washington, right?
Correct.
That was a hell of a game by
awesome.
Washington. It was probably one of the best games of the year. I don't know that they beat Oregon again at a neutral site in the Pac-12 championship.
I think whoever wins the Pac-12 is going to get in.
Okay.
So let's take your example, right? Oregon, they would have wins over Colorado, Washington, if they beat them in the Pac-12 title game, Utah, and Oregon State. So they would have a resume to contend. The debate would be, if Florida State wins, they would be an undefeated ACC team.
Right.
Does an undefeated ACC Florida State team get in over a 1-loss Oregon?
Oh, yeah. Florida State, if they're undefeated, they're in.
I
But
think so,
again,
too.
you got the Michigan and Ohio State game, so one of them will be with a loss.
That's true.
Which would leapfrog Oregon or Washington.
Whoever loses that Ohio State-Michigan game will be replaced by the Pac-12
there
champion.
You go.
That's how I look at it.
That's probably how it will go. Probably the best way. If Florida State wins out, Georgia wins out. Even if Georgia loses a game in the SEC championship game, I still think they're in. Because there are no other each team will have – there will be teams with one loss, and the only two there will be a Michigan or Ohio State and potentially a Florida.
What if it's Bama, though?
What if they lose? I haven't.
What if they lose? What if Alabama? What if Alabama wins the SEC title game? Georgia's got one loss to Bama, and Bama's got one loss.
What if Texas wins the Big 12? Texas beat Alabama.
They did.
Who else has Texas beaten, though? That's where it comes down to, because Alabama would have beaten
Texas
Ole
beat
Miss,
Alabama.
Who are you?
Tennessee,
Oklahoma,
LSU,
Kansas.
What are we weighing
and then
here?
Georgia.
Like, are we doing eye tests? Are we doing strength of schedule? Are we doing head-to-head?
The committee,
because I don't know if the committee even knows.
Texas has probably, they won at Bama. That's probably, one of the better wins this season.
The committee has told us time and time again, without telling us what they rule on. They rule on your wins. That they rule on your victories over top 25 opponents. Mm-hmm. They don't even care about the losses as much as you better have a good loss,
right,
or no losses at all. You can't have two.
Right.
If you have two, you're done. But if Texas would have a win over Alabama and Kansas State. That's it.
Yeah.
They'd have three.
And they lost a tough one to Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, yeah.
A 4-point loss.
That would be considered a good loss. Yeah. I think this is fascinating. The top 8 teams, Ohio State, Georgia, Michigan, Florida State, Washington, Oregon, Texas, and Alabama, I think are all in the running. I'm not saying they all have the same shot, obviously, but I think all 8 teams are in the running.
I just don't see Bama. But I don't think Bama will beat. I don't think Bama will win the SEC championship.
I don't either. But what if they do? You tell me the committee.
They'll be in. They'll be in because they will need Alabama for viewership. They will be in.
I can't leapfrog Alabama past a Texas team that they already lost to.
I agree. I'm just saying
Oregon
what they will do.
Or Washington, who have been playing outstanding all season as well. That's a lot of spots to jump. You need a couple of teams to lose more than one game.
Would you drop both? So would you not have an SEC representative?
I think Georgia is in.
Even if they lose to Alabama, there's no way.
If they lose to Alabama and it's a close game, we saw it last year. We saw TCU lose in the championship game and still get into the Final Four. Right? They lost to Kansas State in the Big 12 championship game last year.
No, I think they won. I think they almost lost, right?
I'm pretty sure TCU lost that game.
Which one?
To Kansas State.
They did. They lost the Big 12 championship.
They lost the Big 12 championship game and got in. And so there's precedent.
They came back.
No, they lost that game.
And they only got in because USC also lost the Pac-12 championship.
That's right. I was about to say what happened. Yeah, that's right. It was a Friday night. The Pac-12 game's always on a Friday night, and you're right. Okay, so Diaz, you're right. My bad.
Georgia can be a one-loss team in the SEC. That one loss being to Alabama in the SEC championship game, and probably end up. They might just move one spot to 3 because I don't think even if Florida State is undefeated, I don't think you move them from 4.
I'm telling you right now, mark my words. If Alabama,
I do not want Alabama.
I refuse.
If Alabama wins the SEC title game, they're going to be in.
You're absolutely right. They will have them in there. They should not be in though.
I'm with you.
They
should
not. If Texas,
you're a Texas of chaos and
if Texas is 12 or whatever and 1, they win the Big 12. I don't think they should be in. But this isn't the first time that the Longhorns would have been screwed.
Texas cannot be screwed and Alabama be in. And they beat Alabama head to head.
This has happened before though. This happened before. Do you remember when Michael Crabtree had caught the ball against the Longhorns back in the day?
Yes.
That made them a one-loss team. Then it came down to Oklahoma and Texas, but because of the BCS rules at the time, Oklahoma jumped up in the standings even though the Longhorns had beaten them in their rivalry game.
I remember. It was that was like that Texas Tech game. Was one of the best regular season games I've ever seen. That game was incredible. It was like a Halloween night too. It was October, and I think it was in Lubbock.
It wasn't,
that. I remember that. I can't remember TCU losing the Big 12 championship.
They definitely lost last year.
I remember watching it. I must have turned it off.
Yeah, they lost.
Yeah, my bad. All right. It's going to be fun.
Get that Alabama crap out of here. I don't want to hear it.
I'm with Marshall. I don't want to.
I'm so sick. In a year where there's so much parity, the last thing college football needs is Alabama and Georgia again in the college football playoff. It's the last thing they need. And then Michigan and whoever else, some other stupid team that will probably win or get blown out.
Washington.
What?
You like the Huskies this year?
They have not been playing good. I'd rather watch Bo Nix in Oregon. But
Bo Nix in Oregon beat Michael Penix in Washington. Then, if you want to see Bo Nix and company,
that was that was a really good game, though.
It was.
And
they're going to have to be
in Washington.
The
they lost.
Game.
Oregon lost.
Yeah, but again, they'll play again.
They will,
and I think they're going to beat Washington when they play again.
They might.
It'll be intriguing to watch these last 2 to 3 weeks and see who ends up where.
It's going to be a lot of fun,
and how these. Conference games, championship games play out.
Mm-hmm. Marsh, you're not wrong. Washington should have lost to Arizona State. Mm-hmm. And Stanford put a game against them.
And then they beat USC last week, but it wasn't.
Yeah. No, they're down 7-0. They're down 14-7. They're down 21-14. And
real quick here. I was going to say, who the hell has Georgia played this season? Other than Mizzou. Okay.
Mizzou and Kentucky. That's it. That's why
How good is Kentucky now, though?
They were ranked.
I get it.
You're talking to me. Look at me as I'm the committee, right?
Georgia hasn't had that tough task.
Well, Michigan hasn't either.
But they do this week. They play Ole Miss.
They play Ole Miss.
They play Ole Miss, and then they play Tennessee next week.
There's a chance they could lose one of these games.
Yes, there are. They could lose both of them. I doubt it.
I hope so.
If you don't like Georgia's schedule, I recommend you go to Michigan's schedule.
Anthony,
it's a joke.
We're talking the same language right here. I do not like them. I don't like Michigan. They're like the Chicago Cowboys. They're like the Dallas Cowboys.
They are.
They are. I don't like them.
Yeah.
I hope they get caught.
Overhyped. You feel that way the same way I did with Ohio State. When Ohio State would always make their run and make it to the playoffs, I'm like, they're going to lose. They're going to get destroyed. And they'd get destroyed.
Yeah.
Except for Cardinal Jones, yeah.
I'm so sick and tired of teams that have all this hype and they don't do what when it really comes down to this. The Cowboys, they can't win a playoff game unless they're playing Tom Brady, who's 40-plus years old.
On a losing team.
They celebrate it like it's a Super Bowl. And then the following year, they're complaining because their quarterback sucks.
I love it. I love when Marsh gets fired up. All right, we got our biggest question of the day next in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. Right after the show, we'll have Blues pregame show for you starting at 6 o'clock as the Blues take on the Arizona Coyotes. Pregame at 6, puck drop is at 7. We talked earlier today with Chris Kerber. If you missed that interview, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 mobile app. It's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Panthers taking on the Bears in Thursday Night Football, but we got Blues and Coyotes tonight. Once again, pregame starts at 6, puck drop is at 7. And you can listen to it right here on 101 ESPN. We have our biggest question of the day coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's time for the Fast Lane's biggest question of the day.
All right, time for the biggest question of the day here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Kerry Davis filling in for Jamie Rivers. Here's Andrew Marsh.
All right, gentlemen, per Ken Rosenthal, the Brewers are open to moving virtually any player on their roster.
Ooh. Give me Corbin Burns.
Well, that is my question to you two today. Would it make sense for the Cardinals to trade for Corbin Burns?
Yes.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Why not?
You can have a lot of our minor leaguers. We don't know if they're any good. Corbin Burns, come on down. Yes, absolutely. I don't think Brewers should do it. I don't think the Cardinals would do it.
If they said everybody is available, yeah. He's one of everybody, isn't he?
He certainly would be.
What do they want in return?
Probably 4 or 5 prospects that are knocking on the door.
What do we care about prospects here for, right? What do we care about, Anthony?
Unless they're Sandy Alcantara and Zach Allen.
Again, what the hell do we care about prospects here, huh? Huh?
That's right. Give me that Corbin Burns. Yes.
Hear me out. Sure.
I mean, it'd be phenomenal if they could, but I don't think it's going to happen.
The Brewers are an intriguing franchise. You know, we obviously you saw Craig Counsell leave. He's no longer there. And then they had the whole incident with Josh Hader 2 years ago where they were like, yeah, he's the best player. Don't worry about it.
Right.
We don't need him. Like,
we're not going to be able to sign him.
If you are a Milwaukee Brewer or a fan, how much faith do they have in their front office?
At least you kind of know what you're getting.
But is it, I mean, you just won the division.
Happy, but
you just won the division. Your coach left. Your best players are leaving, and now you get a report saying anybody's up to get out of here. You name them, you name your price, you can have them. Really?
You're not feeling good. You're not feeling good about it, but you are a Brewers fan, so you kind of get it.
You understand your plot in life?
Kerry, I've been wrong about so many things on these airwaves. The one thing I said, and I'll tell you who fought me on it the most. It was our guy Chris Ranji.
Okay.
Ranji fought me on this the most. The day that they signed Christian Yelich, I go, that they're in trouble.
Yeah.
Because they were going to sign Christian Yelich for a massive contract, and there were going to be repercussions for it because you're the Brewers.
Just kind of went downhill.
And I said, you watch. There's gonna be a domino effect here, and there was. Well, we're seeing it. They didn't bring back Josh Hader.
Yeah,
they're not gonna. They went toe to toe with Corbin Burns in arbitration, fought him. Part of the deal was like, yeah, this guy cost us the division last year. He didn't pitch that well. Like
that never goes over. Arbitration has got to be one of the worst. Like, imagine sitting in a room and hearing all of the terrible things about yourself and why you shouldn't get X amount of dollars, but we do want to pay you something, so come on back, pal.
Yeah. We like you, just not the price you think you're worth.
You awesome. Kidding me? You're really not that good, buddy.
Right.
You're terrible, but we love you. Stay here with us. For this amount.
I'm just picturing that like arbitration, right? Listen, Stalter, your 445 tease was terrible. In fact, your teases overall are pretty bad. You mispronounce words all the time. This guy sucks. We'll give you $25,000. What do you think?
I want 80. That's what I think. Yeah, everyone 90.
Awesome. We'll give you 17. Because we got more information how bad you are.
You just went down.
We got notebooks.
Oh, man. It has to be terrible. And you do see the repercussions of that when players go through those arbitration meetings and they come out and they just aren't the same player for that organization.
I thought Tyler O'Neill went through it.
I agree.
Not this past year, but last year.
It's got to be tough to sit in there and just hear all of the terrible things that you do when you think, hey, I think I'm a pretty damn good ball player. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're not.
No.
You're not, pal. Mm-hmm. This is what we're going to pay you.
Sorry about it.
Sorry, not sorry.
Carrie, I'm also sorry about this. It's time. Time to face your punishment. Marsh, would you like to do the honors? Because you,
Can we, hold on.
Yeah.
Can we turn some lights on? Because I do not want to get shot in the wrong,
Yeah.
Marsh did it last week. I got shot in the spine and the hamstring.
Listen, I
Can't make any promises over here.
A big lower half. Just give me a heads up, man.
Yeah.
All right.
So Carrie lost.
Do we have a film? Because the people down the hall complain that we don't.
Well, we're on the Air Alliance team studio cams.
Turn that camera on. Make sure that's going.
Marsh is gonna turn on that cam. So Kerry Davis lost week 1, and last week while he tied Jamie.
Because I need a ruling. We're gonna have to bring out some rule books. Because if I get shot in the ass with 2 shots, and I was right in then Jamie's gonna sit here and get shot in the ass too.
No, so
somebody got to tell me how these numbers work.
So our 101 ESPN Pick'em Challenge app. If you go to week 9.
You've told me this, sir. I want to know how the numbers work.
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know.
You've explained that part to me. I don't understand.
I have no idea.
What the same as QBR? What is this number?
Nobody knows.
What the hell is that?
Nobody knows what goes into it.
Come on.
It's like going to a questionable restaurant.
This is ridiculous.
You order what's on the menu, but you don't really know if that's what you're getting.
This is
no
ridiculous.
idea.
This is upsetting. But
I'm sorry.
You know what? I'm a man of my word.
Yes, you are.
I will take my shot.
Look, I have 2 on my ledger. You now are going to have 2. Marsh, you're at 1 or 2? No, you're at 2, Marsh. Right?
I'm at 2 as well.
Marsh is at 2.
Actually, Carrie shot me, so it's a little retribution.
Okay, there you go. BT. Oh, that's right. Carrie was excited, too. Yeah. All right, so 2 shots for Carrie Davis to fulfill his punishment. Carrie, go ahead. Count us down.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, man. At least you got. Did you get in the cheek?
Right in the crease.
That's where he got me. That's where he got me. He doesn't know.
What's going on here?
All right, shot number 2 here. It's shot number 2 for Kerry Davis. Go ahead, Kerry.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, there we go. That was the cheek. I saw that one.
That was a really good one.
That one bounced right off.
Yeah.
All right.
You know what? The first one was better. I shouldn't have played.
Kerry Davis has fulfilled his NFL Pick'em Challenge punishments. Kerry, as we like to say in the fast lane, that hurt us more than it hurt you.
I don't know about that one, sir. That one hurt me pretty bad.
Make sure you get everybody get their picks in for this week. All right, we'll wrap up the show next. What you missed, criticisms, compliments, Kerry will be all right. That's all next in the fast lane on 101 ESPN. missed anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast at 101ESPN.com or your 101 ESPN mobile app. All brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Big thanks to Kerry Davis. Kerry pulled double duty today. Had the opening drive this morning and then came in for the entire Fast Lane show. Jamie was with us for the first 2 hours. Kerry's been with us the last 4. And, mate, CD, it's been a lot of fun.
It has been. Minus the last, 10 minutes when I got shot. But
yeah.
It's been good.
But look, the punishment's over. You fulfilled it. And you're not going to go back.
Oh, hell no.
You're done.
I'm going to finish on the right side of it.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. We're all going to have. Here's the key. We're up 6-2.
That's what matters
against
most.
The Rizzuto show.
Yes. Keep that going.
The big punishment. That one we want to avoid.
Yes.
I saw somebody. It was funny. I guess the Rizzuto show has their big billboard up, and they put a post on Instagram, and somebody in the comments section was, at some point, that's going to be a real picture of everybody in their underwear. And I'm like, you get it. You get it. So, good stuff there.
Well,
all right.
Well played.
Marsh, what do you got for criticisms and compliments?
Yeah, we got a ton today for everybody. Well, actually, let's start with a criticism. I don't even know if it is a criticism, but this is from Jamie's Vacation Speedo. Anthony is an Atlanta Falcon fan. He knows when something is horse piss for sure.
No,
I talked about that earlier.
That's just a comment. That's in a spot-on comment, nonetheless.
They didn't deserve that.
Yes, they do.
No. Yeah, I played for the Falcons. They were good at one point.
Yeah, you played for the 04 team, which was excellent.
Really, really good.
Until you went to Philly.
Until it was cold outside. It was freezing out there.
I knew. You and I have talked about this.
This is one of the coldest games I ever played in my life.
As soon as I turned on the TV and I saw how cold it was, I go, Mike's not going to play well.
It's not going to be great.
I saw a Falcon Bear game in Chicago in December.
Oh, yeah. Forget about it.
And it was so cold. He wanted nothing. Michael Vick wanted nothing to do with that game.
Forget about it.
Yeah.
Falcons have figured out. They got a guy they drafted last year. No, this past draft. You should hand him the ball. That coaching advice is for free.
Forget that. I don't like your strategy. Rather see them.
Neither does Arthur Smith.
Lose every game by 2 in the last second. Go ahead, Marsh.
We get a compliment from the 314. The chemistry of this show is incredible. CD fits in so well. I really liked it when Jamie is there also. You all just feed off off each other. Great job on pairing.
Thank you, guys.
Awesome.
Yeah,
thank you.
We love doing the show, Terry. Absolutely.
Fun. You guys have got the strobe lights going on in here.
It's a little different vibe.
It's a little different. It's like a club.
Yeah.
We bring in. Oh, never mind.
I think I knew what you were going with.
Yeah.
In the morning, different vibe.
Love it.
From the 314.
Daylight coffee.
Holy cow. My day is made. Got to listen to Kerry on the way to work, and much to my surprise, get to listen to him on the way home.
Nice.
What a good day.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Is it dark when you come in for work?
Well, not now because of this damn daylight savings time thing that we don't need anymore. Farmers, I think, have got it figured out, but nonetheless, yeah, it's is that somebody running with a globe? What the hell do they have?
Probably BK. He used to run back and forth when
another challenge.
Probably. The answer to that is probably. He used to though. We used to see him. He used to run back and forth. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, it's not dark anymore since the daylight savings time change thingy.
Let's see, there's just so many compliments. 314 show is on fire today. This is from Lou, the dream team, Jamie, Anthony, Kerry, and Marshy. More, please.
Nice.
Enjoy the show. But Kerry takes it to a whole nother level.
No doubt.
Thank you.
No doubt.
Where are you all at 6 a.m., 7 a.m.?
I'm fast.
We have some good
Marsh is
listeners, too.
sleeping.
Yeah, I'm sure. It must be nice.
I listen.
I should text you in the morning, Marsh. You see how your day's going?
Yeah, I'm not
He won't
answering.
respond.
Yeah. Give you a call, 5:15. Check on you. Make sure you're doing well. How's it going, buddy?
I have sent out a text at 6 a.m. before, and Jamie has responded immediately. Marsh has responded at 11. It's always great, too, because if it's like a joke or something like that, I send out Jamie, and then Marsh 4 hours later. But in fairness to Marsh, he'll send something out at 11:30 or something.
Oh, no. I was
Everybody
saying 3 o'clock in the morning.
No chance.
Out of there.
No chance at 11:30. I'm responding.
No.
All right, that'll do it. See, great stuff. As always, you can check out Carrie in the morning, opening drive. We'll be back tomorrow, too. You got Blues Coyotes pregame now. See you.